good morning. Yeah, it's me, Glenn Clark Radio. Hi. How we doing? Would you rather Wednesday edition of the program? I am told that Drew Forrester is coming by. Real shame that he's not here. Real shame if something happened and he just couldn't make it. That would just be a real bummer if that were the case. Coming up later on in the morning, Rocky Boiman, our old friend from WLW out in Cincinnati, former NFL linebacker. We will check in with him to preview the Bengals. Also a little bit later on this morning, catch up with my buddy Gary Stewart. He just became Stevenson Basketball's all-time winningest coach. They got their season underway, and they will play their first home game on Friday night. So we will talk to him about that and stuff and things coming up during the course of the morning. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Superbook. Use that code GlennClark23 when you sign up at superbook.com or download the Superbook app, and you will receive up to $250 in a same-day first bet match, win or lose. The number has gone back to 4 for the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow night against the Bengals. Injury report has not been pleasant. Although Marlon Humphrey keeps tweeting out the types of things that make you think that he wants you to believe, at least, that he is playing tomorrow night. I don't know what to make of that. I can't tell you. This is a very difficult week to decipher anything related to the injury report. John Harbaugh was also not really willing to. A lot of times when he just knows that somebody's going to be okay, he'll at least say something like, "Yeah, those things aren't serious." They're barely able to practice in a week like this when they're getting ready for a Thursday night game. So it's very difficult for us. We'll get a final injury report today, and we'll see what's going on there, like John Simpson suddenly showing up on the injury report. Seems like it would not be great to be missing the entire left side of your offensive line. And presumably, if Morgan Moses is back, Patrick McCary can swing over and play left tackle, but I guess Faalele maybe gets into the mix in that scenario.
And it looks like Trey Hendrickson might be playing now.
Yeah, he's going to apparently try to play.
Maybe it's the same thing as Marlon Humphrey. It's just
I don't
posture
know.
here.
I don't know. Thursday night game is very difficult to deal with, and that's what makes them so difficult to deal with from a betting standpoint. So if you're feeling a way about it, if you just feel man, if Griffin's right about these primetime unders, and that means the game's probably going to be close, right? If it's under, it's probably a close game, then maybe you say to yourself, it's time to jump on that +4 for the Bengals. Do it at Superbook. Get up to $250 in a same-day first bet match, win or lose. Congratulations, obviously, to Brandon Hyde. The internet was badly wrong. He got 27 of 30 first-place votes. As I said yesterday, it would have been I would have been wasting breath because Manager of the Year is not that significant. It's not. I laid it all out for you yesterday. If you missed it, we measure managers by championships. We don't measure managers by Manager of the Year. It's an award that only started 40 years ago, so a lot of the greatest managers of all time, including Earl Weaver, never won a Manager of the Year award. You don't know how many times someone has won Manager of the Year. We don't measure managers by this award. So it would not have been significant. It just would have been stupid. It would have made no sense. If you included the postseason in Manager of the Year, you probably would have just given Manager of the Year to the manager that won the World Series every year. So they can't include the postseason or else there would be no point to the award. They can only do it for the regular season. And for the regular season, there's no way to argue who should have won Manager of the Year. Here's this guy. I think he's going to win. So I don't know how the internet botched it as badly as they did and got duped into thinking that Bruce Bochy had won Manager of the Year, but it would have never made sense. You going to be all right over there?
Just getting in. Nobody pushes my chair in for me.
Yeah, no, sure. You're right about that. That ain't changing anytime
Howard
soon.
Stern.
Congratulations to Brandon Hyde. Very deserving of Manager of the Year.
You're very fortunate I'm here.
Oh?
Yes.
What happened to you today?
You have your buddy Ovechkin to thank for me being here.
What happened? I don't.
If he scores a goal last night, 0 chance I'm here.
Because you were going to win how much money if he had scored a goal?
A lot.
Yeah?
because
Yeah.
I had Strome and that Mallinston dude scoring last night, and Ovechkin.
Well, how'd that work out for you?
Let's just say I'm still
You're still here.
a little hot and bothered.
Right? You haven't settled down from it just yet. Well, how they doing?
I'm going to punch this guy right in the face, Ovechkin.
What's wrong
I don't
with
care how
you?
the team's doing. I needed him to score a
They
goal.
won 3-0 last night. You should be happy. Against Vegas. I hear Vegas is good.
I don't care how. I just all I needed was a goal. I don't care if they lose 9-3. As long as the 3 guys that I needed to score last
I thought
night.
you were a number 1 Capitals fan. What happened to that? I thought you were.
I was. I
Yeah?
am, but I needed
Are
a
you?
goal
though?
from him.
I'm not sure you are. I think you might have a problem, sir. I don't know if you're aware, but you were a
I
loved
got a
one.
problem, all right. His name's Alex Ovechkin.
You or a loved one has a gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org. Hey, bad news. I did not hear back from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Believe it or not. They did not get back to me.
Oh, did you call?
I reached out and I said, is there someone we could talk to?
I
about?
went and looked. I dug even further into this last week.
Oh, yeah?
There are like 30 other names that we missed.
Oh, really?
It's
I just pulled it up
unreal
on the one list.
how many. Rolling Stone did a huge piece on this. It's unreal how many legitimate bands are not in. Like, as an example, how on earth, on their first ballot, did Dave Matthews not get in?
Well, okay, but I understand that because wait, no. The first ballot thing isn't a thing with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But they were eligible and they didn't get in.
I understand that, but there's a lot of other deserving folks that also need to get in.
Three Dog Night is not in.
Well, I don't understand that at all. That makes no sense.
Three Dog Night was one of the iconic bands of the 60s. How is Three Dog Night? Jethro Tull is not in.
I always think about Three Dog Night. I don't know if you remember this, but one of the times we went up to Pittsburgh, and of course they lost. One of the times we took that trip. At the end
time we left the person there, was it?
I don't know if it was that time.
And they called?
Yeah, said, hey.
Which, in all fairness, there wasn't much that the former owner did that was.
Yeah,
that
but if
was
you
right.
couldn't make it back,
but that was one of the occasions
you're gonna have to figure out
when
your
we
own
left,
way back from Pittsburgh.
and I'm like, you did the right thing.
100%. There's only so much that can be done here. I just remember at the end of the game, they win, and like that's the song that they're belting on the.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Or what is that? It was called "Joy to the World," right?
Yeah, Joy to the World.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're belting it on. I'm like, that's the choice.
Right.
Like, who is in
Joy
charge?
to the World? Like, what's wrong with you people?
Right? Like, how many 80-year-olds are running this place? Three Dog Night isn't in the Rock and Roll.
Unbelievable.
I don't understand anything.
I mean, why wouldn't you just not have Led Zeppelin in there?
I am more than a bit.
Like, how? And
confused.
Jethro Tull, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of
I
Fame.
got
Like, are you
nothing for it.
insane?
I got nothing for you. I can't
So
possibly.
we'll just do this for an hour. So let's stop.
100%. It's all we'll do is just talk
stop.
about who's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Just
Fame.
stop.
anymore. It was weird. But yes, I sent a message.
Okay.
I said
We'd like to talk to you
we'd
guys
like to
about
talk to someone who's involved in the process.
your SE list.
And never heard back.
Right.
Never got a message back. So
They were probably
see
getting
what we
beat up
got.
last week.
probably the case. Deshaun Watson out for the year. That's a real shame.
How about that?
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
How about that?
I don't really have a thought. Like I've seen a lot of people doing one of two things today. It's either the I can't believe we lost to a guy with a broken shoulder. And the truth is that like that actually happens kind of frequently, that someone suffers an injury, but they can either shoot it up or through adrenaline play through the rest of a game before they recognize truly the extent of the injury. It's not all that uncommon. Clearly, he was still capable of making throws, as we saw, like that 2nd and 19 throw, which was.
You could make a throw in that. You sin, dude.
I mean, I don't. Is that what you got for you? Is that what you got today?
And in trouble tomorrow night. With him, I mean, they better come up. McDonald.
No,
better,
he's actually played really well this season.
Uh,
I know. You're doing the bit that Griffin likes to do with Brandon Stevens now, where like, fact be damned, I saw something, so that's the way it
you'll
is.
see tomorrow night.
Will I? Yeah.
Well, actually, you
Why
won't
don't you-
because
why
we're
don't
going to win tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Well, come on.
Well, they could use a win. They lost last week.
They're not. They're not losing two games in a row at home.
100.
4 nights apart.
Oh, you ruined the bit there.
Oh, they're not losing to Duke and
No,
basketball.
I thought you were gonna like drag it out. Like, hey, they can't lose 2 in a row.
38.
It's,
Oh yeah, right.
right,
Yeah,
like the division's at stake
I'm
here.
missing my own.
Yeah, right. It's your own bit.
31-28 Bengals.
Thank you. It's your bit.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on here.
That is weird.
Yeah.
You've perfected my
It's
bit.
very strange
Right.
that's the way things played
Right.
out. God. They got a young quarterback.
Well,
he
the
needs
Browns
a big
are done.
win.
Although I looked at their schedule.
Yeah, their schedule's weak. You're right about that. But you're right. They're done. They're done for all intents and purposes of doing anything real. Like, could they?
They could do what we've done recently, which is Lamar doesn't want to play in December, so he doesn't play, and we still cobble together 3 or 4 wins.
Right, doesn't want to play.
You know what I'm saying? They could get to 9. They could get to 9 wins. They have 6 right now.
Yeah, maybe.
They still
but
have Jacksonville at home.
It-
They have the Jets at home.
No, I hear you.
They have the Bears at home.
It just feels like the AFC is too good for that to be good enough.
too good. There's 2 good teams.
In the AFC,
There's
everybody's
2
beating.
really good teams.
There's 2 teams that have separated themselves. Everybody's good in the AFC. Everybody
Yeah,
is.
I don't know.
Except for
that
the
I agree with
Patriots. The
that.
Patriots stink.
I love it.
That's the one team that you can
I almost
completely write
feel
off.
like here's what you want to know my conspiracy theory about the Patriots.
Sure. I don't know what we're doing here.
I'm pretty.
You think they're
sure,
hiring Saban? You
No,
think that's where it's going?
No, although that would be funny. I'm pretty sure Mac Jones somehow is a plant.
Okay.
He's on the take.
Okay.
And the league said to him, "All right,
I'm willing to listen.
here's the deal.
Yeah.
This guy, this is the most arrogant human being in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to say all the right things,
Yep.
do all the right things, and you're actually
For
early on.
moments, you're going to look like a quarterback.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
And then when you have a 3-foot putt,
Yeah.
I want you to miss
Yeah,
it.
go ahead and push it. I don't
I'm
know.
just telling you.
I don't know.
The more
that that's
I
what's
watch
going
him,
on. No, I get
the
it.
more I'm convinced of it.
I understand what you're saying. I just don't know that that's
Coach,
what's happening
you,
here.
Coach, you call me an a-hole?
Right.
I'll show you, buddy.
Yeah, I got something for you.
I'll show you.
The AFC. There's how many teams in the AFC can you actually write off today? Today, you can write off the Patriots
Right off in terms of doing what?
making the playoffs.
The Bills, yeah.
No.
Making the playoffs.
Making
Okay.
the playoffs. The Patriots.
The
That's
Patriots
one.
aren't going to make it.
They're not making it.
The Patriots aren't going to make
Name
it.
another that you know today.
Well,
We're all
definitely
pretty sure
Patriots
the
are not.
Raiders aren't
The
going to make it,
Raiders.
but
I don't know.
look
about
at their
that.
record.
The Colts.
Again, look at their record.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to make it, but look at their record
They're
and
not.
tell me how you. No.
They're not.
This is just
No,
you
they're
doing
not.
Now this is just. Does it sound like me when I was 23?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, you were worse.
Oh,
Yeah.
you think? Well, we had 4 hours to do every day, and you didn't prepare anything.
You were worse.
So it was a little bit different back then.
Never could say anything negative about Gary.
Yeah.
Maryland
Oh,
lose
right.
87-58, and I'd be like, Gary stinks.
How many times did they lose 87 to 50? Well, they did lose at Duke one time by about 40 points. That did.
They didn't lose
happen.
to UAB.
They didn't lose to UAB. Things are going well.
Oh my gosh.
Things are going well.
I think I got nobody
Hey,
for next year.
you're-
Although they'll get some guys for next year.
Well, they've sold out for this kid Derek Queen who won't commit.
Right.
Who's
Well,
just
He
not.
will
Yeah, to Indiana, right?
as soon as you know what happens.
Well, I don't. The money they can offer the money now, Drew.
But that's what I mean. He doesn't have enough money.
They can offer it now.
He doesn't have the money.
What a world we're living in.
Money.
That's it. The
need money.
AFC. We don't think that the Colts or the Raiders
Who's going
will
to
make
Super
the
Bowl
playoffs.
right now?
What is
No,
this?
write it down. Get a book out. Write it
No.
down.
All right.
Who's going?
I'll
You
write it
call
down.
it right now.
Eagles.
The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
you
only
would,
team I trust
you would-
over there.
I want to say the Tech. I'm so enamored with the Texans.
So am I.
I'm so enamored.
He's my
with
new
them.
favorite player, C.J. Stroud.
God.
And their helmets.
And the helmets.
But C.J. Stroud more than that now.
My
Is he
roommate.
married?
My I don't think so.
Look him up. Look up his bio
Let's
real
see what's
quick.
going on there. My freshman roommate at UMBC was from Houston, and the beginning of the year, as a gift, hey, it's good to meet you, Chief. He got me a Texans hat, and I wore it for. It was
Best
awesome
logo in sports.
because it was just such a cool hat. People would be like, "Dude, I thought you were a Ravens fan." I'm like, "I am." Just look at this hat and tell me why you wouldn't wear it. It's amazing.
According to media referee, he is not dating.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. What happened? All that 1 in a million talk.
All right, 49ers and Chiefs.
Man, I still find it hard to believe in the 49ers. I know they look good on Sunday. But they face any adversity and they have to put it on Brock Purdy. He has not shown that he is that guy. I mean, it seems default to just say it'll be the same thing as last year, but the Eagles and the
It
Chiefs
feels
are
like it, right?
I mean, they're the best teams.
Watch it be the Broncos and the Vikings.
I'll go Eagles Ravens.
Watch it.
Okay, I like that. Nobody asked.
Homer.
Broncos
Watch it be-
Vikings is the Sunday
Yeah,
night
right,
game,
right, right. Watch
which 2 weeks ago I was like, this is the worst Sunday night game of all
Can
time, and now all of a sudden this week you're like, that's not too bad.
Would it be okay if I call out Jim Nance on something?
What do you want to call Jim Nance out? Wait a second.
Would it be okay?
Wait, this is normally
That's what I feel.
roles are reversed
Right,
a little
this
bit
is
here.
What I feel weird about this. But
Okay.
would it be okay if
What are you calling your
if
boy
I,
out?
If I called
This is Jim Nance you're talking
I
about.
know.
This is a great American that you're talking about.
know.
You better be careful what it is that what's about to come out of your mouth. What is this where I'm playing you today? I don't like this at all. What do you want to say about Jim Nance?
he said, and I'm trying to remember the game. What game did they do this past weekend?
They did the
Lions
Chargers.
Chargers. Jim must have said 15 times, and he also said it when the Ravens played the Seahawks. He said at least 15 times, you could be seeing a Detroit team that you will see in Las Vegas in February.
Well, you could.
And he said it about the freaking Seahawks, too.
I understand that. He said the Seahawks Ravens could be your Super Bowl.
This is why everybody loves him.
I love Jim.
Yes.
You
Wait.
Jim-
Tell me what he said that's inaccurate.
There-
No.
There's zero
Wait a
chance the
second.
Seahawks are going to the Super
You
Bowl.
say that.
None.
He said could.
I could also
Are they?
make
Wait.
I could also
wait,
qualify
wait,
for the
wait,
Masters.
Wait. Are they eliminated?
No.
Thank you.
I could qualify for the Masters.
Can you qualify for the Masters?
I could.
What do you? I didn't know that they did like open qualifying for the
No,
Masters.
but I
Well,
could.
then you can't qualify for the
Oh, I
Masters.
could qualify for the U.S. Open.
That part is accurate.
Right. No,
You
I-
could
no, I
qualify for the
can't.
U.S. Open. Well, you could.
Seattle is not going to the Super Bowl.
I
Jim.
can't say that you can't qualify for the U.S. Open.
And neither are the Lions, Jim.
You made it to the other thing, whatever
Yeah,
that was.
That was a senior.
Well, I understand. That.
I think the Lions.
What if you played the round of your life?
Correct. I think the Lions. Well, you got to play 3 rounds of your life.
And then you got struck by lightning.
Right. I'd love to see the Lions go to the Super Bowl. That'd be the dream scenario, right? The Lions go to the Super Bowl. It'd be like the Cubs going to the Super Bowl.
It would
Or
be.
Cubs going to the World Series.
Well, that would almost be a problem though, because if it was the Ravens, they would be America's team, right? Like if you face whoever faces the Lions in the Super Bowl, everybody kind of hates
it's
you.
always no one likes the Ravens. We got you guys got a murderer on your
That's
team.
not.
And I'm always like, he doesn't even play on the team anymore.
Oh
He do-
God.
He doesn't
I don't
even-
know if this is a story we should tell.
He doesn't even play on the team anymore.
Do you remember that night in Kansas City? Because I only barely remember the night in Kansas City.
Not the one with the guy and
His wife and a papa shot and the
Papa
whole
Shot.
thing.
That's not what you're talking about, is it?
You don't remember the guy approaching us at the bar and said, "You guys can't win. You've got a murderer on your team." And do you remember what you said back?
Lord only knows.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Now, please understand, we were younger men then. I mean, Drew wasn't.
Right.
Young.
I wasn't really.
I was very young.
Right. What did I say? Oh, Lord only knows. Why do you think we win?
Drew said, "You know what your problem is? You don't have enough murderers on your team."
Hey, you got to be tough in that sport, man. Right? I heard a guy at the game.
By the way, it turned out they did.
I heard. Yeah, it's true.
They did.
We don't want to talk about that.
No,
but
we don't like talking
yeah.
about that.
That it didn't help him.
No.
He
Not-
didn't murder the right way. I
Oh,
guess. But
God.
I had 2 guys at the Seahawks game talking about Ray, like as if Ray still played on the team,
Okay.
and talking about how he held. I mean, this is their conversation. He held the guy in the limo while they stabbed him. Like they were talking about it as if they were there.
I mean, look, we've dealt with this a lot over the years.
It's unbelievable.
And I've said this a million times because I get it's funny what I said about Deshaun Watson here. Let's make this. We'll have a real conversation for a second. I don't know if we're capable of it for a second anyway. What I said about Deshaun Watson, I am very glad that I would never have to make the choice to root for Deshaun Watson. I am grateful that he's not the Baltimore Ravens quarterback and not the team that my kids root for and would want to have a jersey of, because I don't want to have the conversation about how I think he's an S guy, and I don't want to feel good things for him. I'm grateful for that. When Tyreek Hill was available, I didn't want the Baltimore Ravens to be in the market for Tyreek Hill. I get it. That's rough. He's really good. I had less than zero interest in Antonio Brown. I mean, it would have hurt my soul to see the Baltimore Ravens sign Antonio Brown. Like, I would have been in a dark place because of that. if any of us thought for a second that Ray Lewis was actually involved in a murder, I would feel differently about Ray Lewis. I would not be capable of celebrating him the way that I have. And it's important that we say that because it has been dumbed down. Over the years, we've just allowed for people to say without any response, well, yeah, but there was Atlanta. Talk to me about Atlanta. What do you know about Atlanta? What do you know about it? Because I'm telling you as an adult.
What he was guilty of, by the way, was what he was guilty of. And he knows that.
But ultimately, as was proven in court, even that wasn't a thing because it was ruled that it was self-defense. So he wasn't even guilty of obstruction of justice in a murder, which is what people tried to hold him to.
But he did know he knew things about that night that he wasn't necessarily forthcoming about in the immediate aftermath.
I don't disagree with that.
He knew that.
I don't disagree with
whether or not that was the honor code that a lot of these people are that they follow, whether or not it was scared for his own freedom, whatever it was, right? He chose not to be forthcoming. That said, when you and I didn't get involved with these two nitwits the other day, but when you do defend him, it's just the immediate
right.
You wouldn't do that. He played for the Jets.
Well, truth be told, they're probably right because I probably wouldn't know the facts.
Right.
That part is true. I probably would not know the facts.
So what's the difference between Tariq Hill and Ray Rice in your mind? Why do you have Ray Rice on? Why do you talk to Ray Rice?
It's a fair.
Why do you celebrate Ray Rice?
I don't celebrate Ray Rice. That part I would push back on. I don't celebrate Ray Rice, and that's tough because there's a lot of people in my life that love Ray Rice, but I don't think that I would celebrate Ray Rice. I think that we let him come on and talk about football, but I don't celebrate Ray Rice. I don't encourage there to be more celebration of Ray Rice.
Should he be in the Ring of Honor?
No.
Because of that?
Yeah.
Because of that.
Specifically.
Straight out because of that.
Specifically. 100%.
Do you think they were wrong for putting Suggs in?
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. And I don't think there's the preponderance of evidence that exists that
other than the police report.
Which could be, but all the police report is he said, she said.
Right.
The police report is not,
which could be a mixture of truth.
I wrote a whole thing about. I'm uncomfortable in you will watch me when we talk about Terrell Suggs, and I'll be uncomfortable celebrating Terrell Suggs.
Well, you know what I think about him, so I don't even have to get into that.
As far as a football player is concerned, I'll talk about Terrell Suggs, the football player, but you'll never hear me talk about Terrell Suggs, the person, in any sort of way because I'm uncomfortable about it. And some people might say, well, that's unfair to him.
The team, I shouldn't even say this because I don't know the protocol anymore. I kind of loosely used to in the old days, but I don't know now. But the team, if you got the whatever you want to call it, if you got the voting group or the decision group together with the Ravens, and you gave them the old truth serum needle in the neck, and you said, tell me about Suggs, they all know the truth. They all know the truth. They all know the truth about him in the locker room. They all know the truth about the way he was. They all know the truth.
I don't. Those things don't. You can't get me to care about that. I don't care about Terrell Suggs, the locker room goof, right? Like I don't care about that. I don't.
But it all speaks to his character.
In some, I don't.
Now you're working for the Ravens.
No, I disagree. I disagree because I would tell you this.
To his character.
We had the same conversation before we knew the really awful things that Antonio Brown had done when he was available the first time, and he was just.
It all spoke to his character.
It was just a locker room goof. That stuff will never bother me.
Yeah,
It'll never bother me if you're good. But when you're,
by the way, I'm not saying that the Ravens should make an announcement that says we're not putting Terrell Suggs in.
He's already in.
No, I'm saying they shouldn't have put a list together and said, here are the 8 reasons why we're not letting him in.
See,
I'm not saying they should have done that.
If there was the evidence in some of these cases, like the evidence with Antonio Brown is he sent a text message. We have it. He admitted to committing sexual assault. That's it. There's no gray area there. There's no he said, she said. There is
hell of a receiver.
Great. He acknowledged it. He did what he did.
When you throw it
Thank you. he did what he did. There's no gray area there for me anymore. There's no, like, well, I guess, no, none of it. Garbage. Don't want him anywhere near my football team. Don't want to have to talk about it.
Why?
Because that's the way that I think that there should be certain things that we should accept that are beyond the pale in this country. And the way that we treat certain people who haven't
Don't you want to win football games?
Yeah, sure do. Want to win football games, but we should be capable as a society. We're not, right? It's very clear. Look at the people that we put in charge of the country.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of that
We're
evidence.
not capable of it,
right.
but we should be capable as a functioning society of saying that certain things are completely beyond the pale. And violence against women should be the easiest one to say.
But we want to win football
that's
games.
beyond the pale.
But we want to win games.
Thank you. That's what people say back. I don't care about that. I don't care about that stuff. Violence towards women and children should be the easiest thing for us to say, nope. Nope. You can still be a part of society. You can still go get a job if you want to, but we are going to decide that it won't be here. We should be capable of that. I get my blood boils when I hear people. Stan last week, well, what would you think about the Orioles signing Trevor Bauer? We have allowed for that guy to gaslight us into believing that he's a good guy because he put out a video that does make it seem like this one woman wanted money from him. But what it doesn't do is address the fact.
She 100% did.
What
it doesn't necessarily
What
mean.
it doesn't do is address the fact that even if this woman had consented to whatever rough sex they were having, we still saw what it looked like, what the aftermath of that was. I don't care who consents to it. You decided to be a part of that. You chose that. That's on you.
He throws 98.
Thank you. And there's also 3 other allegations.
2.27.
And there's also
ERA.
3 other allegations that have
I'm
been
with
made
you on
against
this.
the guy.
I'm not arguing with you. You know, I'm the same as you.
No.
With him.
No.
Right.
Violence against women, we should all be capable as a society of saying.
Well, violence against anyone.
That part is tougher for me. Like,
it's okay for a woman to hit a man?
Well, you want to go the other way. And if it's domestic violence, I mean, this obviously wouldn't come up in whether my team was going to
but
sign.
I'm saying, like, just violence against people.
If somebody got into a bar fight, I don't think that would be enough for me to say they shouldn't be on the team. That's where I don't.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
It could include a woman hitting a man.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure we're clear on that.
It's fine, but the Ravens aren't going to. Again, not today. Maybe someday in the future that'll be an issue they have to deal with. Today, my teams we don't have a WNBA team in town. I would love it if we did. I think that would be great. If we did, we could have that conversation.
Get the Bill Burr clip ready.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Bill Burr in the news this week, by the way. With his wife.
His wife is in the news.
With his wife.
He's not really in the news. Mrs. Burr.
His wife
is in the news.
Not a fan.
Not
apparently.
a fan. Not a fan.
Not a fan of the future president.
Which one? Kid Rock?
Yeah. I
Is
got
that
a bad feeling. I mean, I don't know what
anything
else we're going to do.
They elected him once.
What else?
Don't know.
Looks like he might win by more this time.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what else we're going to do.
What do you mean you don't know what else we're going to do?
We got no one else.
There is somebody else.
Well,
that is what it is.
Shooting themselves in the foot.
Anyway, yeah.
So
it's a very clear line for me. The Terrell Suggs thing was always difficult.
I brought up Ray.
It was always the Terrell Suggs thing was always tough for me. Always very difficult because as a football player, there was no question, but I never was comfortable talking about Terrell Suggs as a human being. I was never comfortable
you were there around him.
Yeah, but again, that stuff, as childish as whatever as it was, that part doesn't bother me. The only part that bothers me is
the bleach.
That right? And again, I can only say that's a he said, she said thing,
right.
And I can't address that. I can't say that I know better what happened. And an allegation was made and then disappeared. So I can't.
Let's talk about Trevor Bauer.
You want to do that?
No.
What happened to that?
We need to start.
We're doing a very silly. We were having a nice silly conversation this morning.
Somehow we got on Deshaun Watson.
Right.
You're still mad about him.
Well, I am. You started. This was Ray Lewis. You started this. This was not me. This was you.
I will say about Deshaun Watson, and I know this goes against the grain of beating him up. I was really impressed with him on Sunday.
Well, sure. I mean, he played
like
from a football standpoint.
He manned up on Sunday.
He absolutely manned up.
Yeah.
I saw somebody doing this. Maybe it was the morning show over on the radio station was doing a bit about I guess somebody somewhere, and it was probably one of the dumb shows, asked if Lamar Jackson had a signature win. Because they were talking about how, like, Deshaun Watson now got his signature win as a Browns quarterback. And it was funny because I understood what they were attempting to say. Even in the context of what they were attempting to say, you would point out that, like, that Browns Monday Night Football game would be Lamar Jackson would be a signature win, or the comeback against the Colts on Monday Night Football would be a signature win. But the hilarity of it is that what they were essentially saying, and this is one of the silly
How about
things.
when they beat the Rams 60-6
This is what
in L.A. the one night.
the hilarity of the conversation was that you can only get a signature win if the game is close. And it's a weird thing.
Yeah, what about 37-3?
Like, all of the games that
It's not a signature win.
that he was able to rest for the fourth quarter, none of those count. All of those games, they're not signature wins because they weren't back and forth affairs.
I think we can. Well, I can. We can all pick apart things about. We can all have varying opinions on Lamar. I don't think one of those opinions is he doesn't have a signature win. Like, that's kind of dumb.
I do think that it led.
There's other things you can talk about with Lamar,
but it led to
that's not one.
But what's weird, Drew, is it led to a conversation I was reminded that I had 2 weeks ago, which is after the Seahawks game. We were doing Project Game Day. By the way, Project Game Day every Sunday. Myself, Rita, Femi, our cast and crew, Ken Zales, Andrew Stecca, Josh Charles.
Oh.
Yeah, which one? Which one do you want to go to war with?
All of them.
All of them?
Well, except for Josh Charles.
Oh, you like Josh?
Well, he was in Dead Post Society.
That's true. What about Femi? He
Leave
won a
him
Super Bowl. You got to...
Yeah, not really.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know who you are anymore. Project Game Day brought to you by
I'm just
AJ Michaels.
angry.
You are.
Just angry.
AJ Michaels, Superbook Sports, helpmygamblingproblem.org, Facebook.com/PressBoxSports, YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline. And I said, if there was one thing that maybe was missing from the Ravens' resume, because at the moment we were all doing the are they the best team in the NFL bit, it's like, they haven't really had to win like a back-and-forth shootout duel yet this season. And I feel like a lot of people would feel more comfortable just knowing, hey, they could do that too, right? Like, if that's what it requires to win, just check all of the boxes. We've won blowout fashion. We've won with the defense having to lead the way.
We haven't won where we were down 17-10 with 4.5 minutes to go, and we won 24-17.
Or I was thinking more like 33 to 20,
Whatever.
28, and you have to go down. It's back and forth, that type of game, like that Browns game was on Monday Night Football.
I think they fell into that a little bit over the weekend. I think that a bunch of things happened on Sunday, right? No question, the whole game flipped when those two guys went out in the fourth quarter. The game, even though it was only 15 minutes, when Humphrey and Stanley went out, those were the two guys departmentally we couldn't afford to lose because we needed one offensive series. We needed to cement the game away with one offensive series. We couldn't do it. We needed to cement the game away with one defensive hold. We couldn't do it because they kept throwing the ball and they kept catching it. So, but one of the things that happened was late in the first half, when it's 17-6, Lamar throws, we're about to score to make it 20-6 or 24-6, and we're getting the ball to start the third quarter, and Lamar throws it to them, blah, blah, blah. They get the ball back. They kick a field goal. Now it's 17-9. Like, even when we went ahead 24-9, I think when we went ahead 24-9, I think we thought that pretty much sews this one up.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Seahawks game.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a 38-9
Yep.
final. We'll scratch together 2 more touchdowns. This thing's done.
It felt that way. Yep.
Difference was very simple. I know a lot of people have been beating up Lamar, but the difference is that when it was 24-9, 2 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago, or whenever the games were, 2 weeks and 4 weeks, whatever they were, when it was 21-3, and I'm just doing this, I don't know if these were the scores.
Right.
And it was 21-3 and 24-6.
The other team,
Those two teams got the ball.
Yep.
And then went 3 and out.
Mhm.
We got the ball back, went down the field, scored, and now the game's really over.
Mhm.
They got the ball again, went down 3 and out. We got the ball. The other day,
the Browns.
they went down and scored.
Yep. They answered.
So that
Yep.
that was the whole difference in the game. I think we thought, 31-9, 38-9, ball game, and the difference was they moved the ball on our defense.
Okay, let's have a legitimate conversation, though. The trend of, and there's so many different ways that people have reported
I mean,
these
we could have
numbers.
scored. Everybody's beating up Lamar, and I get it, but we what did you want us to do, score 44? Like,
I mean,
we losing 45, 44?
In fairness, he didn't score 7 of those, and
I'm willing to give.
7 of them came when they got the ball on the 12-yard line.
I'm willing to get right. I don't think he played all that well the other day, and I think Watson outplayed him for sure. And I know we do this a lot, and he does take on a little bit of the look when you start looking at it from 35,000 feet. He is kind of the closer late in the game, right? Mm-hmm. He's the starting pitcher in the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, Lamar, here you go. I know John doesn't say this to him, but Lamar, this is why we gave you $50 million. Go figure out a way to get 27 yards. Mm-hmm. If you get 27 yards for us in the next 8 plays, the game's over.
Yep.
Just go get us 8 plays. Mm-hmm. Keep the ball for 8 plays, we win, right? So I get it. And so the other day, sure, maybe the other day he failed. But the whole game changes when it goes from 24-9 to 24-17. Now they're sort of kind of alive. The Prochet gives us the one. It's 31-17. We still can all we need is a stop.
Yep.
We just need to stop.
Or a sustained drive where you're running the ball and taking time off the clock. And that's the other part that's warranted discussion about, what happened on Sunday.
Right.
But I'll go just to try to have a legitimate conversation, because this is going to be a topic tonight on 105.7 The Fan. How genuinely worried are you about this being a part of their DNA now versus it being just kind of a weird anomaly that they have coughed up leads as the 7 times they have over the last 2 seasons?
I would say this. I don't really put I don't put any stock in anything that happened last year. I just don't. Or 2 years ago or whatever. All this data that is being circulated about these I don't know exactly how many guys are on the team that were. I think this year matters. I do think this year matters, and I do guess maybe it's fair. Maybe it's fair to take anything that McDonald has done because it is a schemed game, right? Everybody's kind of talking about Stefanski, whatever you want to call the word. I've seen toyed with and played with and. Stefanski lit up McDonald in the second half. Okay, maybe, but is that because Stefanski got the better of McDonald, or is it because Marcus Williams can't tackle anybody because he's got one arm? Is it because the other day, a week after he played great, Michael Pierce whiffed on 2 quarterback sack-ish kind of things because Cleveland knew all the pressure was coming from the outside, so they had Watson stepping in the middle of the pocket. He was able to get away from Pierce twice. Like, is that why? Like, is that really Michael McDonald?
Well, but also, if Justin Madubuike is just a step closer to picking up that fumble, none of it matters.
Right.
Which is
when the ball gets knocked out of the guy's hand, the football game is over if we fall on it.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
So again, now this is what we do. We do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to say this all the time when we did this for a living. If Suggs knocks the ball out of Roethlisberger's hand, Suggs is a rock star. When Polamalu knocked it out of Flacco's hand, Flacco sucks.
Correct. You view it through your own prism. Yes, correct.
Right. So McDonald drew up the scheme for Oweh to knock the ball out of the dude's hand.
For a winning play. Right.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
You just got done telling me McDonald's the reason we lost. Well, he's the one that drew the plan, not you. I'm saying
not me.
People.
Yeah.
You're the ones saying McDonald got lit up.
Right.
Well, he didn't get lit up on that play.
Nope.
Oweh knocked the ball out of the dude's hand. It just the ball's not round, and it fell to the wrong guy.
Yep.
So you know what I'm going to say about this as it relates to the coaching. You know what I'm going to say. I say it in every sport. Guys can keep talking about coaching all you want. You got to have football players, and they got and the game is all about the plays that happen and don't happen. If Lamar throws the ball to Zay Flowers on that route, the game's over.
Wide open.
But people, again, it's the lowest hanging fruit. We did it for years with Billick, did it for years with Greg Roman. Did it when the Ravens were winning games. Greg Roman was fine because Greg Roman didn't have anything to do with it. Flacco had something to do with it. Pitta had something to do with it, or whoever was on the team. I don't even know. But we do this all the time. As soon as the team loses, it's always is the coaching.
That's what we do.
Always.
Yep, 100%.
It's always
what we do. No question.
And it's comical.
No doubt.
Like the football players win them the games, and they lose them.
And the coaches lose. Well,
no, but
right. I understand.
The players are the ones that do it. They're the ones that have all the skill, all the talent. They're the ones that make the plays. They're the ones that run the routes. They're the ones that block. They're the ones that miss the blocks because the other guy tries too, right? You try. I heard somebody in there the other day, the other day beating up Macari and the center over Myles Garrett, zipping through there. Like you're talking about a Hall of Fame football player.
That's correct. He's pretty good.
Right.
It'd be like saying I could make that 32-yard.
Yeah, right.
It'd be just as dumb as saying that.
Right. I did make that.
No, you didn't. We got to get a break. You got anything else?
No.
I want to play Would You Rather Wednesday on the other side.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
All right. We come back in. We're going to do it anyway.
Beat up Harbaugh some more.
Sure. That sounds like fun.
Both of them.
Well.
Let's beat up both of them.
We're going to be America's team. Okay, Jim. You got it.
Poor Jim. I don't understand why Jim wouldn't have just said, I know it was wrong.
But then he'd be – what do you think? Somebody's going to take accountability for their actions?
I know it was
This
wrong.
is America, Drew. You think there's going to be accountability?
I know it was wrong.
Come on, man. Get over that. Today's show brought to you by the print issue of PressBox. It's available for free at your neighborhood
And we still
Royal.
beat Ohio State anyway.
That's true.
That's what he should have said.
That's true.
I know it was wrong, but we still beat Ohio
all
State
that
anyway.
matters. All that matters. It's available
they
for
never
free
beat Ohio State,
at your – well, they won the last two. What are you talking about?
Those were flukes.
Oh, okay. It's available for free at your neighborhood Royal Farms. Any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find PressBox. Read it all, PressBoxOnline.com. Great cover story from Todd Karpovich. Also, a lot of college basketball, Brooks Robinson tributes in this print issue of PressBox. When we come back in, we'll play Would You Rather Wednesday. That's next. Drew Forrester's here at Glenn Clark Radio. Why bet with the big boys this football season? Instead, try your hand with the local book, Superbook Sports, this fall. Superbook Sports is the book next door. Just a dedicated team of the best odds makers in Las Vegas, making sure you get the best prices and parlays anywhere. And now, Superbook will give you a bonus of up to $250 when you sign up and wager on the same day and use the promo code GlennClark23, GLENNCLARK23. So bet with the best and use the promo code GlennClark23 this football season with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up, everyone? It's Tyus Bowser, and I've had so much fun hanging out with Rita and putting up with Glenn the last couple years that I've decided to do it again. Season 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show is happening this year, as we'll be all over town, giving you the chance to get to know me and some of my teammates. As we talk football, life in general, and just say what needs to be said. You can find out more about the show by going to PressBoxOnline.com/Bowser. If you don't live in the area, you can watch the shows live on Facebook and YouTube. And if you miss one, you can listen Friday nights at 105.7 The Fan. So we'll see you all season long for the Tyus Bowser Show, a partnership of PressBox and Great Ace Memorabilia.
The next Tyus Bowser Show is Tuesday, November 21st at Mother's North Grill in Timonium. It's brought to you by Superbook Sports, AJ Michaels, and HelpMyGamblingProblem.org.
There's so much focus on sports betting these days, but I want to talk about an area that nobody wants to gamble on, where you choose to go out and spend your hard-earned dollars to eat. The Costas Inn is no gamble at all. The quality on their menu is outstanding, and the value is off the charts with a great and varied list of specials Monday through Friday. And the staples of the menu, whether it's salads, burgers, fish, they're all fantastic. And I haven't even mentioned the crabs or crab cakes yet. So check out the menu for yourself at CostasInn.com. When choosing a place to dine, never gamble on the food you put in your belly. The Costas Inn at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or call 410-477-1975 for reservations and your steamed crab orders.
What company has the expertise to make your home healthier by purifying your air and killing all viruses, allergens, and bacteria? AJ Michaels, Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis, ajmichaels.com.
Visit Harford County. Gear up for the holidays by supporting local with Small Business Saturday on November 25th. Take in the dazzling sights of the season with a Ladue Christmas at Ladue Topiary Gardens. Enjoy holiday lights, sing along to holiday songs, reserve a carriage ride, and sit on Santa's lap in Bel Air's Winter Wonderland, happening every Saturday from November 25th until December 16th. Nothing sparks that holiday joy quite like a festive parade. Head to visitharford.com and click on events to see the full list of parades and so much more. In Maryland, you're welcome.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Sure, Glenn may be in his 40s now, but he looks just as good as he ever has, and he's still as sharp as he ever was. And I say both those things without even a shred of irony. Find out for yourself right now by watching the show at facebook.com/PressBoxSports or youtube.com/PressBoxOnline.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of the program. Stan the Fan Charles getting together with John Eisenberg this week. Make sure you check that out at facebook.com/PressBoxSports, youtube.com/PressBoxOnline. They discuss his new book, Rocket Men. And, of course, every Monday, Stan, Ross, and Luke talking baseball. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports, youtube.com/PressBoxOnline. All right, it's time to play Would You Rather Wednesday. Would You Rather Wednesday is brought to you by Birdland Sports. Someone who participates in Would You Rather Wednesday today will win a shirt of their choosing from Birdland Sports. Birdlandsports.com, of course, is their website. They actually have a Birdland Boys puzzle available for the holiday season, so all of the guys in their tracksuits, it's a pretty fun puzzle that they have available right now for somebody in your life. Here's what we got for Would You Rather Wednesday. 4 scenarios this week. Number 1, 2 guys you brought up earlier, Drew. The Ravens get everyone on their injury report back for tomorrow night except Ronnie Stanley, who is out for the season. Or they get everyone back except Marlon Humphrey, who is then out for the season.
Which one can they not win without? I think Macari is better at what he does than Yasin is what he does.
Okay.
So I'm going to say they can't afford to lose Humphrey.
Okay. You
I think they're going to. I think they're really in trouble if Yasin's got to play the last 8 games of the year.
I don't know that I agree with
7
that.
years.
Look, again, if it suddenly comes apart for him, the way he's been playing, I would have the bizarre amount of faith. He's played far more better than I thought he was going to offer when they signed him this year.
Okay.
Now, in that scenario, it does require him to match up more with the top receiver from each team. That's not great. There's no getting around that.
I think they can survive without Macari. I mean, without Stanley. I don't think Macari's terrible. I don't think he's Stanley, but I don't think he's terrible.
I think McCary has largely played. He didn't play. Look, nobody played well on Sunday. Everybody got there. Everybody just signed up. They were
I
like,
don't want to say Yasin's terrible.
It's your turn to go get your ass kicked.
People do that all the time, and
but
none of these guys are terrible. But because it's like saying a golfer is no good. What are you talking about? They're making money playing on the tour. They're all great. He's one of the, apparently, Yasin's one of the best 120 defensive backs in the country.
Statistically, he's much better than that. This is the part.
No, I'm saying there's 30.
But
there's 4 quarterbacks.
It matters. It matters when we have these I get on him about this all the time. We like to do the thing where if we see something and we just sort of decide that's the narrative and that's the story, and we're spitting in the face of fact, right? Like, I don't think Nico Collins is one of the best wide receivers in football. But all of the numbers tell you Nico Collins, the advanced analysts say he's having a top 5 season of any receiver in the NFL. So
thanks a lot, Billy Bean.
Rocky Sin, on PFF, he was the lowest graded defender. Rocky Sin.
This week, he did not have a great game this week.
Who?
There's no doubt. Rocky Sin.
You
keep saying this.
I almost did it. He's terrible.
The numbers coming into that said the passer rating against him was the lowest of any cornerback in football this season. Coming into this week's game.
You'll see.
Keep saying you'll see.
You will see.
Like that means something.
You're going to see Thursday night, sadly.
Go ahead.
I'm wrong on that.
You can get your
I mean, they did survive without Marlon for the first couple weeks, but I don't like our corners behind him, so I'd rather get Marlon back. But, I mean, long term, I feel like it'd be better to have Stanley for the remainder of the season, even if he has not been playing well.
Right, because the fear is, because we know this, you're dealing in probabilities. We probably aren't winning if Humphrey has a long-term injury. We probably aren't winning. This is like the thing with our baseball closer. I said this right away the day after the dude blew his arm out. I wrote a piece and said, we're not winning the World Series without this guy.
Right.
We're just not.
Your margin for error was very
here's
small.
What I know. There is no probably if Lamar's out.
Right. Correct.
It's over.
It's 0. Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So probably we're not winning without Humphrey. Probably we're not winning without Stanley. We ain't winning without Lamar. So that means of those two, which one's the more valuable? Well, the one that's more valuable is the one that keeps Lamar upright.
Hard to disagree with that. Hard to disagree.
I mean, we're not winning. If Lamar decides again not to play in December, we ain't winning.
All right. Number 2, would you rather? This is a follow-up on last week. Would you rather have Joe Burrow as your quarterback for the next 8 years or C.J. Stroud as your quarterback for the next 8 years?
We did this exactly?
No, we did Josh Allen last week.
Well,
yeah.
Pretty obvious now.
Yeah, at this point, right, it almost seems absurd that anyone answered Josh Allen last week.
All the Bills got to do is go back to the old helmets.
And everything will be fixed. Matt, he'll stop throwing the ball to the other
keep
team.
Fighting the fight.
Yeah.
Just go back to the old
All
helmets.
right, Joe Burrow or C.J.
With
Stroud?
the grazing buffalo. Well, I'm going to say Burrow because his sample size is bigger. So I'm going to say Burrow because he's done it for 3 years, and this kid's done it.
You
for
think Joe
6
Burrow
weeks.
is proven he'll win? He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
All
I
right.
do believe that.
All right.
Joe Burrow will win a Super Bowl in his lifetime. I do believe that.
But that would require
Which
the
is really
Cincinnati
bizarre.
Bengals to win a Super Bowl.
Well,
I'm
you
just,
think?
Yeah, that's
I
a good
mean,
point. I
you
guess
could go somewhere
it
else.
could be
But
a
yeah,
Matt
the
Stafford
Bengals
situation.
How funny would it be this year if it were the Bengals and the Lions? Of course, the Bengals did make the Super Bowl a couple
They
years
did.
ago.
That
But
happened.
how funny would it be if it were the Bengals and the Lions?
Be a hell of a story. Griffin?
I don't know. C.J. Stroud's helped me win back-to-back fantasy matchups now.
That's the important part.
Thanks, Billy
Yeah.
Bean. Appreciate you.
I mean,
Ruin sports.
I'll go.
Is that what it is? He ruins sports?
I will go C.J. Stroud because he's.
Look at this guy.
I don't know.
The answer is obviously Joe Burrow, but I want it to be C.J. Stroud, man, because I love C.J. Stroud so much. I want to say that, but yeah. All right.
And I can root for him, too,
Number 3 with Deshaun Watson. Would you rather the Browns stick it out with P.J. Walker and Dorial Thompson-Robinson, or they sign Joe Flacco today?
God, wouldn't that be funny? I would love them to sign Flacco.
Would you?
I would love it.
For what?
Just adds-
For what
I mean,
reason?
we wouldn't play him again to the playoffs, but it would just
Right.
add so much intrigue. Right?
So you want them to sign Flacco?
Sure.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, because then I can. I'll just be rooting for the Browns now all of a sudden. Like,
Why would you want to root for the Browns? They're
'Cause they got
competing
Joe
with
Flacco.
they're competing with the Ravens to try to win the AFC North.
I don't know if you remember this. He single-handedly won us the Super Bowl.
I understand that. he and Bolden.
They
I
got rid of him.
mean,
Who threw the ball to him?
You're right. That part is true.
Jersey,
They had to do it together.
Jersey Joe.
I guess Jacoby helped a little bit too. The 3 of them won
Why
a
is
Super
the meter
Bowl.
at 38%?
Because that's where I put it this week.
36. Yes, Flacco. Yes.
Guys are haters.
I would rather not. I would rather
They would make the playoffs.
I would rather not have to think about it.
You
I
don't
would
wanna-
rather.
My
it
God,
just be
Amari
Jersey
Cooper.
Joe. I don't want to. I would rather not. I would rather just leave it alone. And number 4, would you rather?
Hey, Joe, Drew, listen, did you get a chance to read through that thing I sent over for you for the website tomorrow?
Drew, I don't care.
I'm kind of wrestling with my brother right now. You want to give me a call back? Excuse me? My brother and I are wrestling. Can you call me back? Oh, you know what? Is there not anything in there that's going to make me look bad, is there? Harbs isn't going to get pissed off, is he? No? You should. Okay, just write it.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Drew Forrester.
That was like 4 weeks into the thing.
Playing the role of Joe Flacco.
But it was like 4 weeks
Well,
in.
I don't think we were paying him.
The first week, though, he's like, send this to me. Send it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I got to read through it.
Right.
And then he would call me back and go, hey, you got to do me a favor real quick.
Right.
Take out the word maybe.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, no problem. And don't put positively in there.
Mm-hmm.
Take that out, too. Okay, Joe, no problem. Second week, hey, send that to me. And then like 10:30.
For those that don't know what Drew's referring to, in his rookie season, we had an agreement with Joe Flacco. Before we knew he was going to be the starter, we had an agreement with Joe Flacco that he was going to appear on the morning show once a week. And then later in the week, he would write a blog for the website. Drew was responsible for writing Joe Flacco's blog. The idea being he would just sort of say some big game coming up on Sunday.
And in fairness to Joe, when he became the starter, I went to him and said,
right, how do you want
Joe,
to...
you you don't have to do this.
Right.
And he's like, no, I'll do it.
Yep. He agreed to do it.
I'm fine.
For the record, I don't believe we were paying him. I believe
Well,
that
of course we weren't paying him.
he barely paid us.
Yeah. We gave him Green Turtle gift cards.
I don't even know that we did that. I
I
believe.
kept those.
I believe.
I was supposed to give them to him, but I kept them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy got $4 million to sign.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't need these $50 gift cards.
Pay for his own. He can pay for his own wings. He can handle that.
So I went back to him and said, Joe, you don't have to do this. And then he said, no, I'll do it. So the first week.
You won't believe that this arrangement only lasted for one season.
Right.
There wasn't a second season of this.
Right. Well, thankfully, because I did all the work. So by the fourth week, Joe's like, just write it.
Yeah.
Because he knew he was going to be the starter anyway. He's like, I don't even care if you make me look like a goof.
Yep.
Just write it.
Yep, go right ahead. We don't have anybody else.
You don't have to call me anymore.
Yeah, I'm the guy.
I'm like, okay.
100%. All right, number 4. Would you rather? This, by the way, is going to be a side bet for picks this week. Would you rather a football genie offers you a promise that it will be, the Lions will be in the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens, a Ravens-Lions Super Bowl, if you consume a Jameson Williams hamburger every day between now and the Super Bowl. What is a Jameson Williams hamburger, you ask? I'm so glad you asked. As we learned via Instagram, Jameson Williams orders a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Okay. So far, I'm good.
Orders an Oreo McFlurry.
Okay.
And then
I'm
takes the Oreo
in.
McFlurry.
No, I'm in.
What's wrong with you?
I'm in.
Dumps it on his cheeseburger.
No, he doesn't.
And it looks like that.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Hold on. Put it back again.
That's what it looks like. Now, for the record, when we do our side bet this week for picks, we're going to have a little more McFlurry just to make it a little bit worse. Leaves everything else on there. Leaves the pickles, the ketchup.
So I'm going to ask a dumb question because this will determine if I'm what I want to do. Is it the regular cheeseburger or a quarter pounder?
That looks. I don't see. Do you see onions on there? Do you see?
Because if it's just the regular small cheeseburger,
what do we think
is there 2 patties?
Hang on a second.
It's
It's a double cheeseburger. That's exactly what it is. I can see on the.
I'll eat that.
You'll eat a double cheeseburger
every day.
Every day. Every day.
I can't do that. I got weight to watch.
Well, then you gotta choose one. Either you're.
No, but hold on.
Yeah.
You're not going to put my health at stake.
But that's you're putting your health. You're the one making the decision.
No, you're doing this.
You're
because
putting.
No, hold on.
Wait, whoa.
No, let me tell you how this goes.
Oh, you now you sound like
this is like the thing you made me eat that time that I liked.
Yeah, you keep asking if we got any Spam and Oreos lying
Correct.
around.
That thing was pretty good, actually.
Why did we do Spam and Oreos?
Because somebody else did it.
Well,
But
Bradley Bozeman did something, but I feel like you altered it because there was something you refused.
oh, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
I don't eat mayonnaise.
You refused to
Unless
eat
it's
mayonnaise.
on turkey with pickles.
So why did we do? I don't understand why we did Spam and Oreos.
I don't remember.
though.
But here's the deal.
You loved it.
I thought it was great.
Weirdo.
You can't eat that stuff every single day from a health
But
standpoint.
you have to.
But you're not
Okay,
making
I tell you what.
time out.
Wait. For Would You Rather Wednesday purposes, this is what you have to do. But I am offering you an olive branch.
I don't like olives.
I don't like olives either, actually. Olives, mushrooms are my 2 things. I don't eat them.
Mushrooms are good.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They
You
offer
don't
nothing
cook
to
'em right,
society. No, I've tried. Sure you. They've offered nothing to society.
I'm growing some right now.
Are you? Yeah. That's not those kind of mushrooms. We're talking about a different kind of mushrooms.
Portobello.
Yeah. By the way, we know someone who's gotten into the mushroom world. You won't be remotely surprised. When I write this name down for you.
You mean the actual growing of the
I mean like
those kinds?
To my understanding.
Oregon is now allowing you.
When I write this name down, you're going to say yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, not at all. Not remotely surprised. Yeah. That's the world. Also very religious now. You would like her. You would.
Is she really?
Very religious.
Those two don't seem to go hand
You
in
wouldn't
hand,
think,
by the way.
would you? You wouldn't
Although
think.
there are a lot of medicinal purposes for those, supposedly.
All right, so I will deal. You can be dealt into picks for
But
this
let
week.
me just okay. But hold on. I want to go back to this. I want to make this point.
No, you can't make this point. It's would you
are
rather
bringing up this.
Yes. By the way, you know why the reason is that I'm going to say no because of my health. I'm not going to do it because of my health.
Not.
Yes.
You're saying no because you don't want to taste it.
I also don't want to do that, but even if I could...
You can't have that much bread. It's not good for you.
I agree with that. If you told me that I'll give you
the patty off, I'll do it
if
every
someone
day.
said, I'll give you $1 million for this, I would say no. No, not doing
You're
that.
insane.
I'm not doing that. Not doing it.
Now
No
you're
chance.
just saying dumb stuff
No,
to say
I'm
it.
not doing
Now
it.
we know Margaret's
not
got
putting-
too much money.
No,
If you were broke like
I
me,
assure you that's not the case.
you were broke
God,
like
do
me,
I assure you.
I'd do it for $100,000.
Yeah. That's sad. That's sad.
You ever had $100,000 in cash in your hand?
I know, not in my hand. I've held a check. I swear to God, I held a check that wasn't written out to me. That was written out to somebody else for $250,000, and I was holding it, and I said, What am I looking at?
I don't think I ever said during the baseball season. I don't think I ever said it on the air. I might have said it to you privately, but I had that game this year where the overhits. I won $78,000.
Oh yeah. Well,
I went 7 for 8.
hey man,
If the overhits in the Reds game, I won $78,000.
you were really close. It must have felt nice.
$78,000.
All right, you want to be dealt in for picks this week? Our side bet this week is the loser has to eat one of these sandwiches. Loser and ties has to eat one of these. You in for picks this
Hell
week?
yeah.
All right, that's what I figured. All
Are
right.
you kidding me?
All right. Griffin's in.
Here's what I'll
Gonzalez
offer.
is in.
I
I'm
said
in.
I was in.
Well, listen.
Yeah,
to
you're in.
Okay,
You
well,
don't get
listen.
a
The rest.
choice.
Here's what I'll tell the rest.
I've
of you
got
guys.
you all of your jobs.
Listen, I'll make
You're
this
in.
easy. I'll make this very easy.
Yeah.
If who all's, I'm not doing it if Proctor's in. Who all's in?
Proctor's in.
Well, I'm not doing it then.
You're going to be in anyway.
I don't want to be involved with
You're
him.
gonna be
Who
in
all's
anyway.
involved?
Well, the confirmed in.
All right.
The two of us.
Okay, hold on.
KZ.
Hold on.
KZ.
You
Yeah.
and him. All right.
Yeah.
Soft. Soft. Go ahead.
KZ.
Soft.
Paul Valley.
Definitely soft.
John Proctor.
Oh my God! Like cotton soft.
We never got an answer from Khan, did we?
I mean, I'm sure he is,
Okay,
but
he's
Yeah.
not soft.
I mean, he's in last place in our
But
contest.
he's not soft. Go
But
ahead.
he's in last place.
Okay, but everybody's soft so far, but him. Who
we
else?
never heard from Stecca. I don't think we never got
Soft.
an answer back from
he won't
Stecca.
do it.
Soft.
We'll make sure that he does it. We'll make sure that's the case.
Okay.
We never heard back from. Actually, we haven't heard back from a lot of people. We didn't hear back from.
Kyle said he wait.
Oh, Kyle's in. Yeah,
Which
Kyle,
Kyle?
Kyle Ottenheimer, back from the
Soft.
dead.
Right.
He's
Carries
in.
a purse.
I don't think that he cares. But that's his. He's got diabetes.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is. He
Should-
has diabetes.
We should put that in your pocket then.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Go ahead. How's he doing, by the way?
I think he's doing
Is
fine.
he- go ahead.
Eric Arditi, Barstool RDT, wanted to
Soft.
get in.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to make an offer to all you soft guys eventually. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Keep going.
John in Little Rock, did he answer us?
Oh, my God. Soft.
Well, he'll do it anyway. I think.
Yeah, he might
That's
just
his
do
offer.
it. That's
Right, so here's
that's
the deal.
disturbing part.
If you lose, so who is it, the lowest two?
The lowest and the ties.
Lowest and ties have to eat this thing.
Yes. So if everybody goes 5-4 this week, if everybody goes 5-4, we all have to.
Okay, but
consume-
here's the deal.
Yeah.
I'll do it for $20.
Nope. Sorry.
No, I'm saying if you lose,
Oh.
give me $20 and I'll eat it.
Oh, okay. Jeremy said he was in. Sorry.
That's my offer.
I can buy my way out of
Yeah, give me $20 and I'll eat it for you.
instead.
Yeah.
So you just really want to try the sandwich? Is what you're saying.
You know where I know I'm going after this. You,
Drew's not even gonna wait. We got it. Don't we have a guest that we got to call?
you know right where I'm going after this, dog.
All right. So you're not only in.
No, I'm eating it.
Yeah, you're eating it no matter what.
I don't even want to be in the game. I don't even want to pick.
All right, but would you participate in the charade and then you can do it anyway afterwards?
I'm
All
in.
right, thank you.
I'm in.
We have to include the Monday night game
You know
this
what I'm
week
gonna
because it's
do?
too important.
Hold on. Give me 2 games on the schedule real quick.
Yeah.
Is it against the spread or is it outright?
It's always against the spread.
All right, give me 2 games.
All right, 2 games. Oh, Ravens Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah, you're picking the exact opposite of how you think the games. Well,
Who else?
this would be a real test. Maryland, Michigan.
Maryland. Keep going.
You like Tennessee against Georgia this week? You've been saying that for a little while.
I'll take Tennessee. Yeah, I'm definitely picking everybody.
We got to pick Raiders Dolphins. I imagine you've always
Definitely
been
Raiders.
Vegas.
Where's the game?
Yeah, right. It's in Miami.
Raiders.
Yeah, 1:00 game. West Coast team coming east.
Yep.
You've always said that's a great place to
Yep.
pick a team.
I'm in.
right? Jets Bills.
Oh,
well, actually, we don't know who's
Where's
better
the
in that
game?
game. It's in Buffalo.
Jets.
Yeah. All right. Are you sticking around or are you?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
I mean,
you're sticking
what
around.
else am I going to do?
I don't know. I've tried to figure that out for a long time.
Oh, my God.
Drew Forrester is here in studio with
can't
us.
wait to have
yeah,
this.
he is really excited about trying a Jameson Williams burger.
I got to use the
I
bathroom.
gotta see if this guy wants to try a Jameson Williams burger. Whenever the Ravens play the Bengals, the good news is that we know we get to catch up with a buddy of ours, former NFL linebacker, host on WLW out in Cincinnati, ESPN college football analyst. He is our friend Rocky Boiman, and he's back with us on the program. Rocky, it's Glenn. Drew Forrester is in the studio with me this morning. It's always great to catch up, brother. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Fellas, always a pleasure to be with you. I feel like both of us, selfishly, we need our teams to win, so it helps our radio broadcast. So it's really about us.
That's correct. Guys. That's exactly what it's about. Now, I start with this, though, Rocky, because we do a silly bit on this show called Would You Rather Wednesday. It's just play Would You Rather on Wednesdays. It's not hard. Did you happen to see the video or the image that was going around of how Jameson Williams likes to eat a hamburger?
I did not happen to see that one.
Right.
I must have missed that
All
one.
right, so Jameson Williams orders a double cheeseburger at McDonald's, and then he orders an Oreo McFlurry, and he just dumps the Oreo McFlurry on his double cheeseburger. Like, leaves everything else on it.
No.
Yeah, okay. But now, present it this way. If I could guarantee you that the Bengals would be in the Super Bowl again this year if you consumed one every day between now and the Super Bowl, would you do that?
God, every day? Not even like one a week?
Every day, Rocky. Think about how good it would be for ratings. Think about how good business would be in Cincinnati.
Well, ratings are the most important thing, if not the only thing. So, yes, I would do it.
Look at this guy. That makes one of you. Not a chance in hell I'm doing that for the Ravens. Not a chance in hell. No freaking way, man. No doubt. All right, so the Bengals, the last time we talked, Joe Burrow didn't seem quite right at that point. Then all of a sudden Joe Burrow looks like Joe Burrow again, and we are all panicked about how good the Bengals look, and then they drop one at home last week. What was it just they ran into a buzzsaw that is C.J. Stroud, or was there anything else that was maybe alarming about Sunday's game?
I think a couple of things. I think, first of all, that the Texans just flat out played the Bengals. I mean, they looked like it mattered more to them. They looked like they were playing with more effort, as silly as that may sound. I don't know, were the Bengals looking ahead to this week? Maybe. Bengals first drive, go down the field, score, and it's like, okay, here we go. This is going to be a 40-pointer. And then they just, I don't know, let their foot off the gas, just couldn't convert. In my opinion, didn't target Jamar Chase enough. And then the defense, which is, has done really good, and they've gotten some timely takeaways, and they've been good in big moments, but they've given up a ton of big plays. I mean, Noah Brown had, I forget how many catches for 172 yards. I mean, this is not Odell Beckham Jr.
Right.
This is not, Julius Jones, right? Like, for a guy to go off like that is incredible. C.J. Stroud, I mean, I could be more impressed with a rookie this year than him. So a combination of, the Bengals not playing their best game, giving up more explosive plays on defense, not targeting Jamar Chase, and then a Texans team and C.J. Stroud that played really well.
So one of the things that jumps out is it would seem like it's a good thing that for the Ravens if T. Higgins doesn't play tomorrow night. I just still have this weird, like, even without T. Higgins, you still have Jamar Chase, and you still have Tyler Boyd, and I know Josevich has been pretty good this season. How significantly different is it when T. Higgins isn't on the field?
It is significant, and Josevich may not even play. I don't think he practiced yesterday. I don't know what his status is, but it's just look. Every defensive coordinator, I think, in some way, shape, or form, when they start the week, they say, okay, who's the other team's best player? How do we take him away? And that's Jamar Chase. So the beauty of the Bengals offense for the last 3 years is there's so many weapons you can't take away everyone. You take away Jamar Chase, then T. Higgins goes off a couple weeks ago, and he's been a little bit slow, and Jamar Chase was great, and then you still got Tyler Boyd to worry about. Now the tight ends miraculously have been more involved. So I mean that's the beauty of this offense is you got the signal caller who's one of the best in the league, and then he's got the firepower to exploit a defense with. But you're always better when your best guy is playing, he's healthy, and he's getting the ball. I would have liked to see him get Jamar Chase. He only had 6 targets last week. His 5 receptions, he had a ton of yards. I forget what it was, but I think in the big moments you got to find a way to get your best player open. I don't think they did that.
Rocky Boiman, WLW, out in Cincinnati with us here on GCR. Rocky, the thing that maybe concerns me the most, and we saw this from the Browns a week ago here in Baltimore, is all of a sudden the Bengals, as good as we know they are, also have to be a little bit desperate, right? I mean, like you lose this game, you're almost done in the AFC North, at least for winning the division, and we're not even at Thanksgiving yet. How much do you feel like they're feeling that this week, and how much do you think that impacts what we see tomorrow night?
It's huge. I don't, there's, people kind of overblow must-win games, but I feel like there's a must-win game. And the Bengals have one win over an AFC team this year. All their other wins have been the NFC teams. So you got that. You got one win in the AFC and no division wins. That's just, look, every year I played in the league, the coach at the beginning of the year said, all right, boys, we want to make the playoffs. How do we do that? Well, you win your division games. You win your conference games and you win your home games. And then, and I think that's what kind of makes last week's game so tough. You had, a team you should have beat at home in Houston and you didn't get it done. You haven't beaten your division opponents. And so you've really put yourself behind the 8 ball here.
I feel like it leads to a team that's going to maybe pull out all the tricks and whatever we do, we got to lay it on the line to try to win this game. And again, it goes back to we know they're dangerous. The team that we saw for the last 3 weeks ahead of time really felt like a team that, once again, viably you can believe can win the Super Bowl, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is still a Super Bowl caliber roster. I've been saying that all along. And for most of the season, what's been missing is a healthy Joe Burrow. And when he's healthy, it's like, okay, all right, here we go. This is the team we're used to seeing, we expected to see. And a great roster. I've said all along, I think you compare this team's roster with every other NFL team, I think it's, top 3, top 4 in the NFL. It just, I think getting off to the slow starts. I remember last time we talked before Baltimore beat the Bengals in that game in week 2 was just the mindset around here of, well, the early season doesn't really matter. The preseason doesn't matter. We will kick things into overdrive, come November and December, which is fine, but when you get off to such a bad start and such a bad start in the division where your first 2 games right out of the chute are division games, it really just sets you back, and I think that's what's really hurting this team right now.
What would the impact be? I know Trey Hendrickson says he's going to try to play. If he's not 100%, how much would that hurt this team?
That would be huge. Because he has been, I said, and I don't think anybody can argue with me, he's been the best Bengals free agent signing, I said, in 25 years, maybe in the entire history of the Bengals. This guy has been that good. When he signed here 3 years ago, it was a pretty big deal, but he wasn't a household name, and everyone's like, really? But every year he's been a consistent performer. He helps elevate the rest of those guys on that D-line. So without him, certainly, and without him even 100% is going to hurt, especially without Sam Hubbard. Doesn't look like Sam Hubbard's going to play. So now you're talking 2 of your best linemen and leaders of not just the defense, but the team either out or not at 100%. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Our Press Box Ravens beat writer Bo Smolka shared this stat this morning, Rocky. He said, something to note, in the past 2 years, the Bengals have been held under 300 total yards in 10 of 29 games. It's happened all 4 times they faced Mike McDonald's Ravens defense. Do you make anything at all about the idea that Mike McDonald has some sort of special sauce when it comes to facing the Bengals?
Yeah, I think so, and I believe that. Certain teams just, one team just has an edge over. The Bengals, for whatever reason, seem to play the Kansas City Chiefs really, really well when most other teams don't.
And the Buffalo Bills, too.
Right, exactly. I was just going to mention them. We just flat out destroy the Buffalo Bills every time we play them. But look, this is obviously a division game, so you're seeing these teams twice a year. And yeah, so the Baltimore seem to have figured them out, and it's going to be up to Joe Burrow to try to counter that a little bit. But Baltimore's always known for great defense. It's just, it's a staple in that town. It's a staple in the NFL. So the fact that they have a great defense isn't anything new. It's just the Bengals got to figure them out.
All right, so this comes down to what for you tomorrow night, right? Like that's the part of this that's so funny to me is like I think the answer is does Mike Macdonald continue his dominance against I didn't say dominance it's not a fair word to say, but does he continue to have an answer for the Bengals offensively is what it kind of comes down to me. What does it come down to for you tomorrow night?
Well, it comes down to me for the play of the safeties of the Bengals. And I think if you look back, and I remember we talked about this first time around, the Bengals let both Jesse Bates and Von Bell go, right? Two veterans, I think combined, 12 something, 13 years in the league. And not let one of them go, let both of them go. And I think that's where the Bengals have really struggled. And so I think if the Bengals don't find a way to stop the bleeding there in that secondary, it's going to be a problem. I expect Joe Burrow is going to come out and play really, really well. I think the game, not to sound like a coach, but it's going to come down to takeaways and turnovers because the Ravens have turned the ball over a lot. Lamar Jackson puts the ball on the turf. He throws it to the other team a little bit. So I think the Bengals, when we have played well on defense, have gotten those timely takeaways. So secondary for the Bengals has got to play great. I expect Joe Burrow to play great and win the turnover battle. I think that's the team who wins.
So I feel like we can agree. This isn't a game that should be happening in weeks, 18. I think we should all say, like, the week 18, you don't want these types of games being with backup quarterbacks like they were a year ago. You don't want. But it shouldn't be happening this week either, right? Like, this should be a December game, shouldn't it?
You would think because, it kind of adds a little more drama because, for you guys in Baltimore, if they lose this game, it hurts. It's going to hurt you, and set you back. But you're still in it. If the Bengals lose this game, it ain't looking good at all. You know what I mean? So I think it's certainly a little more pressure on the Bengals to get it done. So I don't know. I guess I'm excited that it's played here at this point in the season, but it certainly would feel like more is on the line for a December game.
Man, it should be a December game. It shouldn't be happening. This is where all the Ravens should be playing the Chargers this week and the Dolphins the following week. Get those games out of the way, and then save these for like 15 through 17, and then some.
But look at it this way, though, Glenn. I mean, if the Ravens win, then the division is looking really, really good. If you knock out the Bengals, who a lot of people had as a Super Bowl favorite, that'd be pretty good. Good feeling moving forward.
And with Deshaun Watson sideline, you'd feel almost like I get it.
Bingo.
We can't dismiss the. God, I want to dismiss Rocky. It's so difficult for me because the Ravens lost to the Steelers, and the Steelers have the record that they have. But damn it, we've all watched them. We know they're not that good. Like, we know they're not as good as their record indicates they are. And so I want to be dismissive of them, but you can't yet because their record still says they are what they are.
As long as they have Mike Tomlin on the sideline, you can't dismiss the Steelers. As much as Bengals fans have wanted to do it for like the last 15 years. So, yeah.
All right. So, but I assume that before I talk to you tomorrow, you will have gone ahead and tried your first Jameson Williams burger, so you can report back to me about it since you're going to be doing it every day.
And I did look at this on the interwebs here. This looks flat out disgusting.
It's terrible.
I don't know what's going on.
It's a crime against humanity.
It's like pizza is good. Ice cream is good. Ice cream on pizza is not good. Ice cream on a burger is not good.
Every day we get further and further away from God. Every day we as a society
soulless, lawless society we live in.
Not too far.
Godless.
What's your college game this week?
Well, I got a little action tonight. I got Buffalo at Miami. Miami with a chance to lock up the MAC East tonight, so that should be fun. That's 7 o'clock on ESPN2, and then this Saturday I'll be at Alabama. They play Chattanooga, but it'll be at Alabama. So looking forward to meeting with Nick Saban here in a couple of days.
That's pretty cool. They've turned the corner. Milrone's looked really good of late.
They look really good, man. I know. Look out! Everyone counted Alabama out.
They look like a threat, man. Of course, you can follow Rocky on Twitter. It's at Rocky Boiman 50. Rocky, always appreciate you, brother. It's always good to catch up. Look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, Glenn, you're the best, pal. Thanks so much.
Thanks, buddy. Rocky Boiman with us here on GCR, former NFL linebacker.
If you take the ketchup off that thing, I'll eat it right now.
What's wrong with you? Why do you just admit to these crimes against humanity? Why would you just openly say that?
Have you had that McFlurry? That thing is good.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've consumed a McFlurry. I remember enjoying them a great deal when I was a child, but it has been a very long time since I have gone down that road.
I'll go a step further. I'd be willing to just a little bit, sprinkle a little bit of
What's wrong Why are you saying these things? There's a microphone and people can hear you.
Right. Well, not many people. The praline things they put on the top.
I said can hear you. It's like Jim Nantz.
Right.
They can.
The praline stuff, the flavoring that
you like that?
That S-Bucks puts on their coffee.
Yeah. I don't
ever go to S-Bucks except for this time.
You sound like Jerry Coleman saying the 4-letter network.
Except this time of year. I love that freaking chestnut praline thing.
Chestnut. I didn't realize you were such a basic white girl. I had no idea. Have you ever used the phrase "I can't even"?
I can't even tell you the last time I did that.
There we go. That's our guy.
Let's get back to.
You just want to go back to what?
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, you want to do more of that?
Right.
In 10 minutes, we got to let Gary. Gary Stewart's now the all-time winningest basketball coach at Stevenson University. I'm going to let him call in and talk to us about that in a minute. I did want to run this by you.
Right, shoot.
I have had a almost personal campaign for some time about how insane it is that at some point in the past, we just decided that NFL MVP was only allowed to go to a quarterback. And I brought it up the year that Stephon Diggs showed up in Buffalo, and Josh Allen sucked, and then he got there, and he was the best quarterback in football. And I said, boy, it's real weird how we're talking about Josh Allen as being an MVP,
right,
but no one talks about the one guy that made it all different. It's very strange that we just do that. And I've said it about other guys in recent years. Like, I've gone on this sort of rampage about how we only are allowed to talk about earlier this year, Brock Purdy was an MVP candidate, was a top 3 betting odds candidate for MVP, when it was abundantly clear that Christian McCaffrey was the best player on that offense. Mike Sando of The Athletic has now joined my campaign and has said that this year uniquely, the quarterbacks aren't having ungodly types of years.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll give you a off-the-radar hot take about MVP.
Mm-hmm.
The most valuable football player in the entire league.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even believe I'm going to say this.
I hope you say Stroud. I really want you to say Stroud.
CJ, no. Travis Kelce.
I think there's a strong argument for it. I think there's an abundantly strong argument for it.
You heard he's a Swiftie now, right?
I've heard a rumor that he's... Really? They're an item? Yeah?
I love it that he's a Swiftie.
I don't care about that at all, but God bless.
She picks up the check when they go out to dinner.
I bet she does.
He might be the MVP of the league. He
I
might be the most valuable player in the league.
I think there is a very compelling argument for that. This year, I would make a compelling argument for A.J. Brown.
Okay.
I think A.J. Brown might be the most valuable player in the league. If the 49ers turn things around and get back to doing what they were doing, I want to start talking about Christian McCaffrey again. The thing where we just brainlessly decide, well, whoever's the best team, their quarterback's the MVP.
Yeah, right.
Is asinine.
We do with Green Bay every year.
It's asinine to me. And you could argue that in
By the way, he's coming back in 3 weeks.
Oh, I think he's coming back on Black Friday. I've said that a million times. I think he's going to – they have gone all in on that game.
Ayahuasca sales are up like 90%.
It should be. It's great. That's our side bet next week, actually. Yeah, right? We're going to go out into the woods for a couple of days.
I got you.
You and I are going on a darkness retreat. If Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl this year, we're going on a darkness retreat.
Everybody in Costa Rica is a Rodgers
100%.
fan.
So are you're in agreement, though?
I am. I'm sure. I mean, look, you want to their team's terrible. The most valuable player in the league might be T.J. Watt. Like, their team's no good.
If somehow they got to 12 wins this year, 100%. 100%. I would make a strong argument that T.J. Watt. Now, I still don't think they'll do that, but if they did, you could argue even if they just got to 9 wins that he should still be MVP of the league.
Well, when the Browns sign Flacco and they make the playoffs, Miles Garrett will be the MVP.
Miles Garrett could be in the conversation.
I mean, we all do tend to gravitate to offensive players because it's just the way our eyes go. Like, got to be an offensive guy. Got to be an offensive guy.
It's just, but we don't even do that though. We just say quarterbacks. That's it. We only give MVP to quarterbacks. It's take the best team. Right now, how far down the list of odds do you think you have to get in order to find a non-quarterback?
Number 9.
All right, I will just double check.
I feel like it's like I think you're right. 7, 8, somewhere in that range.
All right,
and it's McCaffrey, I think.
We got Zach Wilson. Where's he?
That's a great point. He should be pretty high on the list. All right, MVP odds. Number 1, Pat Mahomes. Number 2, Jalen Hurts. Number 3, Tua. Number 4, Lamar Jackson. Number 5,
we're
Joe
forgetting
Burrow.
somebody too, but go ahead.
Number 6, C.J. Stroud. Number 7, still Brock Purdy. Number 8, Josh Allen, who stinks.
Oh, my God.
Number
turnovers in the
9,
league.
you nailed it. Number 9 is the
Tyreek
first
Hill.
non-quarterback you find, Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
And the only
Tyreek Hill
non-quarterback,
could be,
he's 13th. Tyreek Hill is 13th on the list. But yes, deserves to be in the
Right.
conversation. I don't doubt that. A.J. Brown isn't until 15th on the list. And that's just basically them saying we think
where's
Jalen Hurts.
OBJ?
Didn't pop up.
OBJ
Believe it or
not
not,
on the top 100
didn't
list?
pop up on the list.
104.
The defensive players don't show up until 19th. T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett all tied at 200-1 for MVP odds. It befuddles me why we will only give MVP to quarterbacks. And I do think that Mike Sando's argument that this year uniquely, that the quarterbacks just aren't so lapping the field so much, I strongly agree at this point in the year. We were talking about Lamar Jackson as being MVP a week ago when, he was numbers-wise, he wasn't even a great fantasy football option. Now, I don't think that doesn't mean that he can't be the MVP of the league, but I think we just default to the idea that because you're the quarterback, you're inherently more valuable.
Right, and we also argue about this. The phrasing, and I'm not saying that we're going to change it anytime soon.
Oh, by the way, Mike Sando is going to join us tomorrow to talk about this theory.
But
okay.
The phrasing of this is also discussable. The most valuable player in the league or the best player in the league? The most valuable player in the league. Or is he the best football? Who's the best football player in the league?
I would have said it was
Trent Williams.
No. Well, I mean, he's in the list.
Who's the best football player in the league?
I would still argue just because Mahomes does things that we haven't seen other human beings do, but it would be close to me between Mahomes and Aaron Donald, right? Like, it would be close as far as there's nobody else that can do what they do. I think those two would be Mahomes 1, Donald 2.
Okay.
What about you?
I probably would say Aaron Donald.
Okay.
Which is interesting, right? Because now we've put this vernacular. Now we're saying best football player. And I'm not taking away from a quarterback being a football player. It's like when people say, well, the kickers aren't real football players. Because they don't tackle anybody.
Right.
And
Jordan Stout made a tackle on
yeah, but
they're not.
So
they're not.
But we think about it differently, right? The best a football player in our distorted view, a football player has to be someone who tackles someone, because that's football.
I think that
that's
they
football,
do. If you're going
right?
to call him a football player, I think that they do. I'm not backing off of that.
Okay.
But quarterbacks
Okay,
don't tackle somebody.
Right,
you have
but
to tackle
that's my
somebody
point.
or get tackled.
So you're
yes.
So Patrick Mahomes isn't the best football player.
Well, no. You have to either tackle somebody or get tackled. Like that to me is the answer.
Okay.
Yes. You have to participate in football plays.
Okay.
Are you staying or are you going? What are you doing? Because we got to take a break.
I don't know. Is Colson paying me, or what are we doing?
Probably not. He barely pays. He doesn't pay Griffin.
Okay.
Why would he pay you?
Well,
yeah, you're better.
don't
I
have to
get
get
it.
into
I understand that.
To get into that
All
discussion.
right, when we come back in, my buddy Gary Stewart, he's a basketball coach at Stevenson, just became the school's all-time winningest coach. He's going to talk to us about that. They got their home opener on Friday night. Gary Stewart from Stevenson next. Glenn Clark Radio.
Come for a game, stay for everything else. Book an unforgettable fall getaway in Charm City. Enjoy only in Baltimore festivals, mouthwatering eats, and endless entertainment. Treat yourself to a staycation in the heart of downtown, or try one of the city's many charming neighborhood hotels. And don't miss out on packages for free parking, breakfast, and more. Plan your stay at baltimore.org/hotels.
Why bet with the big boys this football season? Instead, try your hand with the local book, Superbook Sports, this fall. Superbook Sports is the book next door. Just a dedicated team of the best odds makers in Las Vegas, making sure you get the best prices and parlays anywhere. And now, Superbook will give you a bonus of up to $250 when you sign up and wager on the same day and use the promo code GlennClark23, GLENNCLARK23. So bet with the best and use the promo code GlennClark23 this football season with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
6 chicken tenders made from fresh, never-frozen Royal Farms world-famous chicken, a family-sized order of Western fries, honey mustard dipping sauce, and a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper. It's Royal Farms' new Tucker's Tenders Meal. It's Justin Tucker's favorite, and at only $19.99, it'll be your favorite meal, too. The new Tucker's Tenders Meal, available only at Royal Farms. Now you can kick back, relax, and eat like a champion. Real fresh, real fast, Royal Farms.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
What's up, everyone? It's Tyus Bowser, and I've had so much fun hanging out with Rita and putting up with Glenn the last couple years that I've decided to do it again. Season 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show is happening this year, as we'll be all over town, giving you the chance to get to know me and some of my teammates. As we talk football, life in general, and just say what needs to be said. You can find out more about the show by going to PressBoxOnline.com/Bowser. If you don't live in the area, you can watch the shows live on Facebook and YouTube. And if you miss one, you can listen Friday nights at 105.7 The Fan. So we'll see you all season long for the Tyus Bowser Show, a partnership of PressBox and Great Ace Memorabilia.
The next Tyus Bowser Show is Tuesday, November 21st at Mother's North Grill in Timonium. It's brought to you by Superbook Sports, AJ Michaels, and HelpMyGamblingProblem.org.
What company has the expertise to make your home healthier by purifying your air and killing all viruses, allergens, and bacteria? AJ Michaels, Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis, ajmichaels.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Make sure you're tuned in every Tuesday for PressBox fantasy football analyst Joe Serpico to get you ready for your Waiver Wire Wednesday, brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. And if you have other fantasies you want fulfilled, subscribe to Glenn and Jeremy Kahn's OnlyFans page at... Wait, are people supposed to know about that?
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of the program. Don't forget, if you are headed to Maryland, Michigan on Saturday, both of you, if you're headed there, please bring out your non-perishable food items. We need your canned food. We need your ramen noodles. We need all that stuff. Our friend AJ Francis is holding his annual canned food drive to benefit Sarah's house just outside of Fort Meade, and we would encourage you to bring them out Saturday ahead of Maryland, Michigan. Please bring out your canned food. This Saturday, we'll be at every gate before the game. If you can't make it out, or if you just frankly don't want to go, I understand. Hit me up this week. Let me know how you can get connected with me. You can bring it by the studio. I'll take it with me. If you just want to send a few dollars via Venmo or PayPal, and I'll throw it in when I go shopping this week. I've had a few people do that this week, and I appreciate it. Again, those are the ways to go about getting in for the AJ Francis Canned Food Drive. That's something that I ask you to do coming up this Saturday. What do you have going on in your world?
Yeah, not a whole lot.
No?
Not really.
Like, not at all? Nothing?
Not really. Just getting ready for Coward Hall Golf. Getting ready for the Turkey Bowl. That ought to be fun. Couple weeks. And getting ready for the holidays. And
who's going to win the Turkey Bowl? Well, it didn't look quite as good against Spalding last week.
Yeah.
It didn't look quite as good.
I'll abstain from
that
you're
answer.
Not gonna, no, I mean, it doesn't do me any good.
Griffin, check your email and call that person and ask if we have the wrong number.
What good does it do? What good does it do me to
say to be honest about this?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, it doesn't really even matter what the records of the teams are. So, if Coward Hall were 7-2 and Loyola were 2-7, it doesn't really matter. Both school, the game is the game. So Coward Hall obviously didn't have a great year, but I don't think that matters. I really don't. I think on this day when they get there to play, it's it'll be a one-score game one way or the other.
Okay. Okay.
So,
you think Spalding's going to win on Sunday?
yeah, they're playing.
I actually know this, and I've already forgotten who
Are they
it
playing
is.
St. Joe?
Yes. Yeah. No. McDonough, right?
Oh,
McDonough.
McDonough beat St. Joe? Okay.
Yeah. McDonough.
Or did Spalding beat St. Joe? No, Spalding beat Loyola.
Correct.
Yeah, Spalding beat Loyola.
Loyola.
Yes.
Yeah.
McDonough beat St. Joe.
Spalding's going to win.
All right.
Where's that game? At that Under Armour thing?
No, they're playing it at Towson.
Oh, right.
They're playing it at Towson on Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Right.
All right. That's,
I think it would have been better off if Loyola would have played on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, then they got to turn around.
You got to play again on Thursday. Yeah.
I mean,
so
you
were oddly rooting for Loyola last
correct.
week.
Yeah, correct.
Very weird bit how that works out.
Right.
That you
but
are
before
oddly
Coward Hall
rooting for them.
basketball, I think Coward Hall basketball is going to be better.
We have not yet seen. Have we yet seen a Loyola? Has there been a Loyola Calvert Hall playoff matchup since?
No, because Loyola just came back in.
Right.
So no.
So we haven't seen the scenario where they would have to play twice in the span of a week or 3 weeks, something like that. You know that could happen with Army and Navy.
Oh.
Army is joining the American Athletic Conference.
Okay.
So there's the possibility that Army and Navy would be the American Athletic Conference championship game, and then they'd have to turn around and play again the following week. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Don't like that even one bit. It's not, extraordinarily likely, right? That those would be the uniquely the two teams.
But that
would be
no fun.
It would be awful.
Yeah.
It would be awful. And I would think that at that point the conference would never do it because they'd be giving up money. Like, you would prefer that they just cancel the championship game and say the championship game would be this game the following week.
Oh,
but
right.
It would require them to give up money and TV deal and all of that sort of stuff, and so they'll never do it. But, yeah, that's a possibility.
Man, that would really be terrible.
It would stink. It would stink if that were the case.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be like you having to choose between Adam Lambert and Freddie Mercury.
Well, that one actually is somewhat easy. I mean, Adam Lambert's great. Don't get me wrong. I think he's been great, but that's a fairly easy choice.
Really?
Yeah, it's fairly easy. Hey, joining us now, I'm looking forward to being out there this weekend to get to see his team for the first time. He actually made some history to start the year.
What are you doing out there?
Well, I do the play-by-play. I'm not sure if you've heard, Drew. I've been doing it for a very long time.
And they haven't canned you
Not yet. I don't think anybody's listening. They just assume that I'm doing a good job. He is now the all-time winningest coach at Stevenson University. He is my friend Gary Stewart, and he is with us this morning on GCR. Coach, it's Glenn. Drew Forrester's here with me. Always great to catch up. Congratulations, and thank you for taking the time for us.
Thank you, Glenn. How are you two legends today?
Oh, legends, stop that. Well, me, but not him. Let's not throw out words that we can't take back. Coach, so for those that don't know, it's a unique dynamic because the man that you passed is, I guess, technically your boss at Stevenson because he's the athletic director, Brett Adams. Did you maybe remind him about that there's like a new top of the pecking order?
You know what, Glenn, it was the opposite. He reminded me that as I got closer and closer to it, he kept close tally and kept me informed.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. And I know that, it doesn't mean I'm not suggesting that this is the singular accomplishment that you were looking for in your coaching career, but it's still got to be a pretty good reminder of the stability that you've been able to bring to Stevenson basketball since you arrived.
It's really something that is all-encompassing. It's not, about me. You've got to have a great support staff, the trainers. We've had in our department, Fran and Lisa have been so instrumental in what we try to do as a program. The hallway's been great in terms of encouragement, and Coach Boswell, as you all know, is a couple doors down from me, and she's a great advocate for men's basketball and can bounce some things off of. So imagine having three highly accomplished basketball coaches in our building, and Chris Raymer, Jackie Boswell, and Brett Adams. So I've been very fortunate.
I can't help but notice there's somebody whose name wasn't on your list. I can't help but notice that you didn't mention that, I thought maybe I would make the cut for the speech. I thought that, maybe the play-by-play guy would get a little love in there.
Well, Glenn, it's one of those deals where it's in spite of, in spite of, there's 99 on one side and there's that one. So you just got to kind of power through that.
You've managed to overcome. You've managed to overcome being saddled with me all these years. Well done, Coach. Well done. All right, so let's get to know this year's team, right? I know you're looking to take a step forward. Got off to a great start, obviously. What have you learned about this group? And it would be great news for me if you could tell me that we can expect big numbers to be put up in every game. I am all in favor of 80, 90 points every night out, Coach.
Well, Glenn, this is a good segue from the award or the accomplishment of becoming an all-time winningest coach into this season. So let's work back to last Saturday at Elizabethtown. And it was really, really one of the special times in my coaching career, but not for what you would think. It wasn't about accomplishing that record. It really was seeing Ronald Ayers back on the court.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives me goosebumps just to talk about it. Really a talented student athlete, and then they had to battle cancer here for the better part of a year. To work himself back, and to see him play as well as he did. I'm just grateful that he's back on the floor, and then to see what he did on the court. It really, really was one of the special times in my career.
It's an incredible story and everything. Can you walk me through, what you guys went through with him and trying to be supportive of him and all of that and the emotions of something like that you guys have been through over the last year?
I'm very fortunate in that he's one of those kids that you get the feeling that when practice is over, if he could find another gym to go play in, he would. He's the epitome of a gym rat in relationship to his love and passion for the sport. And fast forward the story to the conference tournament. We're playing at Messiah, and leading up to that contest, the 2 to 3 weeks prior to that, he just wasn't the same. But typical coach, I thought he might be hitting a freshman wall and just lethargic and energy, and so we tried to kind of scale him back a little bit and be careful with him at practice, just so that we had him full go at the games. And then finally, that week into that Messiah contest, we had to almost shut him down. There was just very little that he did, walkthroughs and that kind of thing. We get to the game, and I'm going to do a check on him and see, measure his temperature. And I said, how you feeling? He goes, and I'll never forget it. He goes, well, I'm ready if you need me. Well, he would never say that. I mean, he'd go out there with a broken ankle. He would never tell me that. It was always thumbs up, I'm good, no matter what the situation was. And so that really resonated with me. And I said, you know what, Ron, we're gonna sit you in this game. And we had to figure some things out. And lo and behold, I would almost say 10 to 14 days later, he goes through some testing, and then we find out it's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And then battled that the whole spring. But again, you got to understand him. He still was academically sound and focused that way. And the people at Johns Hopkins did such a wonderful job. His family is amazing. So he had a really good support system and fabulous doctors and staff. And he just kept progressing, and we kept getting good news. And lo and behold, we get him back.
You're giving me goosebumps, Coach. It is a special story, and I can't wait to see him back out there this weekend. I would imagine, too, what it does for your depth, right? You still have veterans like Cam that you can bring off the bench in this scenario. I know you brought a couple of guys in this year like Rasheed Cooley. What it does for your depth and how far you can trust on your bench going into this season.
Yeah, honestly, the challenge I'm having is trying to get 16 talented student athletes on the floor. And it's almost an impossible deal in a 40-minute game. But we are really fortunate to have student athletes that can help us in meaningful contests throughout our roster. Guys that multidimensional. Really team-focused guys. It's just fun to come to practice, fun to coach the group, and I'm excited about it.
All right. I also know, Coach, this past weekend was Veterans Day, and I know that those causes have been really important to you during the course of your career, and you were involved with National Warrior Call Day. Can you tell me a little bit about, what everything that you've done and why it's something that means so much to you?
Well, I had the great benefit to go over to the Middle East several years ago as part of a contingent of college coaches, and I was just floored by, you talk about the very best among us. That's it. That's where the bar is. And the sacrifice, the attention to detail, the camaraderie and rallying around a common cause, it doesn't get any better than that. And the sacrifices they make is immeasurable. And so that kind of lit a fire underneath me, and I've been very fortunate, as I said, to be a part of a contingent that's gone over. This summer was my fourth time going over. We spent some time in Iraq, Afghanistan, and this particular time we stayed at Kuwait. But some of those folks have become really, really close friends of mine. And one of the first texts I got was from a sergeant that congratulated me. Just a phenomenal guy. And again, Scott, I don't want to belabor the point, but the sacrifices, the commitment, and it's selfless. It's really for the betterment of us, and it really is something that we should honor every day, not just one day.
It's well said, very well said, Coach, and I appreciate that you continue to make those trips. So you got a tournament this weekend, and we want people to get out to Owings Mills Gymnasium. 2 games on Friday. You guys play York from New York at 8 in the second game, Notre Dame and Immaculata in the first game, and then 2 games again on Saturday afternoon. So we like that in-season tournament. But please tell me that you're with me, that what the NBA is doing is just the dumbest thing, and it makes no sense whatsoever, and there is no reason it is as comical as I think it is.
It's interesting about that, Glenn. I fancy myself as a guy that is kind of in tune to basketball and all levels, and I, for the life of me, I mean, I'm trying to look at this from 30,000 feet, and I echo your sentiments. I'm not sure I understand who even came up with it, and then who signed off on it.
Yeah,
it just. I don't get it.
I keep thinking to myself, if they just announced tomorrow that it was, I wouldn't even make fun of them over it. If they just announced tomorrow that, like, hey, it never happened, pretend like it never happened, I'd be on board. I would say we will absolutely go back to a world where this never happened, because it is as dumb gets. But in-season tournaments are okay at the college level because they are for different reasons, to get games.
Sure.
That's the reason why we do this. And I know that you guys have always wanted to host events, and it's a good opportunity for you guys this weekend.
It really is. It's an opportunity for us to play in front of our students and alumni and fans and parents and staff. It's also an opportunity for us to invite teams from different regions and different conferences, so we get an early in-season feel for teams, and we can follow those teams throughout the year, and so we have a better feel for how they're doing in relationship to who they play. So there's great benefits to it, and our kids love it.
I think it's awesome. I can't wait to be there. I will be there on Saturday. I'm sicking Gary Stein on you on Friday night, so you get an upgrade for one night. And then,
I love it.
And then I'll be out there on Saturday. Again, 6 and 8 p.m. with Stevenson playing at 8 on Friday night, and then 2 and 4 p.m. on Saturday. Coach, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Thank you, as always, taking the time for us, and go get them this season, all right?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, Coach. Coach Gary Stewart from Stevenson with us here on GCR. Okay, so we didn't talk about the Draymond. Did you see the Draymond Green thing?
He's insane. I'm the only guy that likes the in-season tournament, by the way.
What? Okay, first, hang on. I got to say this. Today's show brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. The Toyota Tacoma comes in a range of models and trim lines, so you can choose the perfect Tacoma to reflect your unique personality and driving habits. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Tacomas from your local Toyota dealer today. What?
I'm the only guy.
What?
I like the court.
They could do that for any game.
I like it.
They could put a goofy-looking court down
here's
for any.
why
I think
like
it's an eyesore.
It's the nature of unintended consequences. The The NBA is the most dreadful regular season of all the sports.
I agree with that.
It's awful.
And it can't be fixed. And this sure as F ain't fixing it.
I don't know
Shorten
about
the
that.
season, maybe.
Yeah, that maybe.
Yeah.
Well, they're not doing
My
that.
Pelicans won last night.
But they're not
Yeah,
doing
that's right. That's right. You got in. You know, we raised $150 for helping up Mission on the in-season tournament. We did a pool.
I like it.
What do you
really
like
do.
about it?
I just like the
There's
fact
nothing
that
different.
a Wednesday night game in January will have some degree of
It won't.
importance.
The tournament is over in the second week of December. You're wrong.
Whatever it is. I mean, I'm just saying.
1 month.
I like it.
You're just saying you don't actually like anything about it.
I do. I just think it's who's playing.
That's you have no idea. There's nothing to like about it.
I'm just kind of picking something that you like.
I understand
and
that.
going against you. No, I like it.
No, you don't.
I like the courts.
The court's fine.
The Pacers.
So pick
court.
6 games a year
The
and pick.
Pacers court
I actually
was
don't like
awesome.
the courts. I think the courts they look awful.
Well, LeBron needs the money.
That's a good point. How's he going to survive on?
LeBron said 500 grand got 500. Did you see what LeBron said?
What?
500 grand got me interested.
Yeah.
That would be like me saying to you,
right.
$5 got my blood going.
Correct. Sure, he's so worried about 500,000. That's what we said when we did this pool. Griffin's all mad about the teams that he got. I'm like, I don't know who's going to care about this.
Are we?
I don't know who's actually going to.
We're going to avoid the white elephant room.
I don't know what you think the white elephant in the room is.
My Terps struggling.
They are your Terps. That's your number one fan.
Struggling.
Yeah, they're not. It's not good. Although Villanova stinks too. So, you see, Villanova lost to Penn.
I did. Hakeem Hart's playing for them.
Yeah, Hakeem Hart plays for them.
What was their coach paying attention?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, Maryland could actually. That's the sad part. Maryland
Well,
can
might be able
use
to
him.
use him.
No one can make a shot.
Trade him for Donta Scott.
It's bad, man.
Oh my gosh.
It's bad. Every year we kept saying like Dante Scott, that guy, he could really take a step forward. Maybe he could be on the NBA radar. No,
he's not on Maryland's radar at this point.
It's bad, dude. It is bad. Maryland, it's as simple as either
They'll
the
be
freshmen,
fine.
well, you say that they'll be fine if the 2 freshmen.
They'll be fine.
You keep saying that.
They're
Harris
going to be 500 in the conference.
Maybe they should be. I mean, they should be.
But here's the thing: when they lose these games, I know it's not an exact science, but now the quest to get to 20 wins starts to be.
Yeah, it gets hairy.
Now you got to start doing the math.
It gets hairy. Yes.
Well, if we lose 2 in the conference, we shouldn't.
Here's the real issue with it is more esoteric than anything else. The real issue with losing these 2 games.
We're not losing to UAB in basketball.
That's a great point. Not going to do that. Trent Dilfer's really got things turned around down there. So.
Not losing. I mean, I could see them. I can't see them losing to Davidson either. So
can't see that. Well, I mean, Steph Curry, he's good, man. He's good. They actually beat Steph Curry when he was at Davidson. Loyola didn't, but they tried. They tried like hell. You don't remember Jimmy Patso's triple team Steph Curry?
Really?
Triple.
It was hilarious.
It was one of the most comical displays of basketball I've ever seen in my life.
They lost. 60 to 40.
Yeah.
Instead of 102 to 71.
Exactly right. He'll tell you still today he thinks it was the right decision. So the Maryland issue, this probably won't be what keeps them out of the tournament. That would more likely be what happens in the conference play. And it not like either one of these games is going to be such a quality win that missing out on it, like you really rue the fact that you missed the chance to beat Davidson. That would have gotten you a 7 seed instead of a 9 seed, something like that. The issue is far more esoteric. The issue is it's much harder to get somebody to come out to a game when this is the first thing they know about Maryland basketball this season.
That's fine.
If Maryland starts 1-3, if they lose at Villanova on Friday, it's way more difficult to get the average person in this state who doesn't live, right there, doesn't live in Hyattsville, to say, yeah, I want to venture out to watch them play UMBC or even some of these nondescript Big Ten teams, because the taste in your mouth is they're not very good. So it's more esoteric to me. It wouldn't be it's not like beating Davidson and UAB would be terribly valuable, but it would be esoterically valuable because then people would sit around and start saying, well, they're getting some wins down there.
Go.
Like there might be something going on. There might be a reason to pay attention. So it's not. It's a bummer it's no fun that they lost those games. You certainly hope that Derek Queen wasn't making his decision based on what they were doing in the early portion of the season.
Right.
But it's not the end of the world because they were never going to win the national championship. If you came into this year thinking that Maryland was a Final Four team, that's on you. They weren't.
He is the director of basketball operations.
Who?
At Old Dominion University.
Who are we?
We're playing Sports Jeopardy.
He is the director of basketball operations at Old Dominion University. Well, who's the coach at Old Dominion? Hang on a second. Now I got to think through this. Ryan Odom's at VCU now. Who's the coach at Old Dominion?
He's not doing a great job.
Do you know that?
No, I mean,
you have no.
Old Dominion is not on anyone's radar. I mean, I guess they won a couple CAA titles.
Is it? Who is the? Is Jeff Jones the coach at Old Dominion?
He is.
So who would be connected to Jeff Jones?
Who is Dennis Wolf?
Oh, that's your guy. Wasn't he somewhere else too that he popped up?
He was a Virginia Tech women's coach.
Is that where it was?
Yeah, that one didn't.
No, that didn't go out.
Old Dennis's personality
that guy.
Didn't mesh with.
God, you love. Find somebody who loves you the way that Drew loves Dennis Wolf. You thought of that because I brought up Patsos. That's exactly why that's how you got there.
Well, I just thinking about
because Patsos was a maniac.
Patsos was a maniac. This guy made Patsos look like
tame.
amateur.
Right, look tame, 100%. Yeah, that's how you thought of Dennis Wolf. Drew loved Dennis Wolf, who was the coach.
I mean, I would go sit right behind the bench when they would come to town, and I eventually got to the point where he invited me. Remember?
Right.
Come on by, Drew.
You would always ask to put him on the show. Like, dude, you got to get him on the show this week. And I'd be like, well, the Ravens are playing this week.
I don't care.
Like, nope. Like, Drew, it's a playoff game. They're in the AFC Championship game. He's like, we're talking to Dennis Wolf, baby.
That's my buddy from George Mason, Paul Hewitt.
Yeah, you like
Paul got canned from Georgia Tech.
Paul Hewitt was a good guest.
Paul was a great guest.
He was a really good guest. That was the shame of it all.
Another name.
You know, we had. Were you in the morning that we had Lomas on recently? That made me happy.
I saw your.
Oh, it made me happy, right? Like every time he would say good morning to
Drew?
Yep, every time it would just put a smile on my face.
What are you doing, Glenn and Drew?
Lomas was one of my favorites, man.
Paul Hewitt.
I don't know what Paul Hewitt's doing these days.
Oh.
What is he doing? What's Paul Hewitt doing?
Oh.
He's not coaching, is he?
Oh, you bet your rear end he's coaching.
Where's he coaching? Tell me it's at Pace. Tell me he took the...
Better than that.
Hang on. Where would Paul Hewitt be? He's at LIU.
No. Way better than that.
Way better? Where did Paul Hewitt end up? Is he the head coach? Mm-hmm. Paul Hewitt is at...
Mm-hmm.
He's at... Valdosta State. No, it's D3.
Oh.
He's at Radford.
Oh, Canada.
Oh.
Okay. Native land. True patriot. He is at Ontario University.
Ontario University. Well, I hear they're good. This might be their year.
That's when you know, like. That's when you know it's time.
You know what question Griffin got? So my team won trivia this week.
Okay.
And all the sports. There were a lot of sports questions this week. I'll give them to you because this is a popular segment yesterday.
I'll get them right.
I think you'll do okay. The one that Griffin got wrong that I was alarmed by.
Okay. Well, I may.
No, you won't. What's the name of the trophy they give to the winner of the CFL?
Yeah. Oh, the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't come up with it right away. God.
You got that wrong.
Okay. I mean, I
couldn't think of it. I mean, I knew
it was bad.
No, you didn't know, but that's okay. Great. Nobody cares about Canadian football.
There have only been 5 teams to have been ranked number 1 in the poll in college football since 2015. What are the 5 teams?
Ranked number 1 since 2015. That's a telling stat, right?
Yeah. A lot of parity in college football.
Clemson?
Yes.
Drives me nuts when people say Clemson.
Instead
of like a Z.
Like Towson.
Towson.
Scott still does it.
Pat Kennedy used to do it. He coached there.
I know.
Towson. I'm like, Pat, I know you're already planning on where you're going to go next.
Right.
It's Towson.
Well, he ended up at Pace.
Towson.
That's where
Towson. He used to come in.
He couldn't get the job at the University of Ontario.
The best thing about Pat would come in every year at the tournament because Towson would never make it.
And
he would have this book full of stats.
Yep.
Pat would come in for a 3-hour segment.
This is how we actually were better than all these
with
teams.
this book of stats.
Yeah.
He'd give you his final.
I put an alarm for get a Thanksgiving pizza.
Oh, son of a! Yes, thank you.
He'd put his He put his tournament bracket down on the table and say, let's go through the games. Pat would get to the final 8. He'd never have one of the final 8. Not one. When all the dust settled, Pat would go 0 for 8.
Yeah.
And in the Sweet 16, he might go 4 for 12.
I feel like you're being awfully hard on the guy.
No.
I think
Pat would go 0 for 8. None of Pat's 8
he loved
finals.
us, though. He loved us.
But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Clemson.
Yep.
Georgia.
Griffin also missed one of these.
Well, I got it.
No, you didn't. You missed one.
No, I got
it.
it.
You guessed 20 other teams before you got
Clemson, Georgia,
yes.
Alabama.
Yes.
All right, that's 3.
Yep.
I think I'm better because I got 4 right away.
Okay, well, give me a second.
All
Clemson,
right.
Georgia, Alabama.
Ohio. I might have gotten one.
Ah, congratulations.
Ohio State. Ohio State.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
There's a 5th.
It's not
Not Maryland. Not quite.
Not
quite.
Okay.
This is the one that Griffin missed too, for what it's worth.
Oh, I got it.
No, you didn't. Stop making things up.
I did look it up. Loyola did not allow Steph Curry to score.
Yeah. They did a great job against.
They lost by 30.
Oh, son of a bitch.
You got kicked out?
Yes.
I guess I should have tried it at the same time.
God damn it. I had it. It was in the cart. Sorry.
Oregon.
Oh, really? What if I told you should have thought of this as there are 5 teams that have won national championships since then?
Wasn't fair. You made me guess longer than
I know. We already did this segment. But if I told you that you told me earlier that you wanted him as your quarterback for the next 8 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, LSU. Oh. Yes, is the other one. LSU is the other one. And then there are 2 presidents that have been enshrined in athletic halls of fame. One.
Well, you know the one.
One is in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, like amateur wrestling.
Okay.
The other is in the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame.
Okay, well, Trump, and then who else?
Trump is, of course, the correct answer.
Of course.
Trump, that is correct. That's the one I got. I didn't get the other one. I didn't get the wrestling one.
And the wrestler would be Eisenhower.
That was one
of my guesses.
It was Abraham Lincoln. Was the answer for that?
Should have wrestled.
Right.
Should have wrestled John Wilkes Booth before he shot him. Trump's in there, huh? Hall of Famer?
Trump's a Hall of Famer, baby.
Jersey boxing.
That actually makes all the sense in the world because he promoted the fights, right? Like, they brought tons of fights to Atlantic City. And
nothing
and
about him is a Hall of Famer.
I agree with that, but it does
goof.
make sense that he brought money and helped the boxers, and so they enshrined him because
Hall
of
of
it.
Famer. I know he ain't a Hall of Fame golfer.
But probably not.
Handicap.
You telling me that? I was going to say, Trump's a great golfer.
He's a joke.
He's won the club championship 100 straight years.
Yeah. Because no one will play with him because he cheats.
Oh, God. All right, Griffin, tell everybody what's going on at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland.
Over at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, if luck wasn't on your side in a recent bet, like maybe Kansas was supposed to win by 7 and they only won by 5 last night, well, you can go over to the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland and turn those losses into winning opportunities with the second chance to win promotion between now and January 4th, 2024. All Live Casino and Hotel Maryland rewards members will be able to enter their losing bet slips into the second chance to win drum, and then 2 nights a week, 20 different winners will be chosen. Prizes ranging from Live Casino and Hotel Maryland apparel, sports and social ultimate happy hour prizes, plus cash and free play worth up to $500. Drawings will be held every Thursday and Monday over at the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino in Hotel Maryland. Adirondack Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I did get the benefit of a late LaSalle bucket last night to cover 11.5. Well, I'm not saying anything.
You better not be. You think
I'm
there
not
was
saying a
some
word.
question.
No. I'm just saying, like, I got usually I'm on the bad end of those.
Yeah, right.
And I'm bad-mouthing everybody.
What I'm saying is, do you think there was anything shady about that?
No.
Okay.
I just got the benefit of it.
All right.
I've got another. This is so Iowa under in football, over in basketball.
Yeah.
They don't play a lick of defense.
Okay.
And they score with everybody.
All right.
That game went way. The over was 165 against Creighton.
Right?
Yeah, and it went way over.
Shut up! I fell victim to that one too.
You took the over. Why would you?
And
what is wrong with you? Guys have problems. 1-800-GAMBLER. Help my gambling problem.org.
I mean, if you can't Charlie Ekman always used to say this: if you can't bet on it, why are you interested in it?
I have another question. Why are you interested in it?
Because you can bet on it.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Yes.
Oh, it was a gambling-related thing. I'm just trying to remember what happened. Besides the fact that Ovechkin cost me enough to go on a cruise. Something happened also last night that I'm trying to remember who it was that was playing, and I took an early buyout last night that actually worked out for me. They almost always fail.
Yeah,
I took one last night.
I actually love cashing out. I'm the cash out king.
Oh, you are?
Because it's like.
So have you ever done a study on it?
I feel like I'm stealing money.
Have you ever done a study on it?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to know what. I don't want to. No, I know that the numbers don't work, but it's like, you mean to tell me I can get off this ride right now? You mean to tell me that I don't have to feel like this anymore, and I'm getting money?
So I had a
go ahead
3-way hockey -1.5 last night that hit. The first two hit. And I had Dallas, and did Dallas play Anaheim last night?
They won. I know it was a close game.
No, they played Phoenix. They played Arizona.
Yeah.
Dallas was -1.5. I had St. Louis -1.5, and I had Pittsburgh. I mean, I had
Winnipeg maybe.
No, the late game, Florida.
By the way, I got bad news for you. John Proctor just said, I'm not one to give Forrester credit for anything, but he's correct about chestnut praline. Add an extra shot of espresso, and it's even better. So now how do you feel about yourself knowing that you like the same product that John Proctor likes?
No, not.
Last time he goes to the
S-Bucks.
Correct,
S-Bucks. He's never going there again.
Not much. Anyway, so Dallas is up 2-1. Wasn't Florida. It was somebody else. Anyway, Dallas is up 2-1, and the third period starts.
You cash out?
And I put I had 20 in to win like $260.
Okay.
They offer me $80 at the start of the third period. They offer me $80. And I'm like, this is just not, and this has become my mentality. Because I'm usually a $5, $10, $20 guy max.
Yep.
Max. The bet I just told you about, the big one was the only one I went kind of nuts on. But anyway, I say to myself, you only invested $5 or $10, and they're offering you $38. If you don't win it, who cares? But last night, I invested $20. They're offering me $84,
like that's a
80.
4-time return on my investment.
I'm like, I'm taking it. I'm not passing up on this. But then I'm thinking, but Arizona's terrible. And Dallas is really good at home. Just hang in. It's 2-1. And the worst case scenario is it stays 2-1 till there's 2 minutes to go.
And then
they
that number
pull the
goes
goalie,
up. Yep.
Then they pull the goalie, and then I sit there like a maniac waiting for an empty net goal to be scored.
What happened?
Cash out.
Oh, you did it. And where'd it go from there?
And it paid off.
Arizona won in overtime.
No,
they lost.
Dallas didn't win.
Dallas won in overtime. Arizona tied it. Arizona actually went ahead. And Dallas scored late to tie it.
And then Dallas won 4-3 in overtime. Yep.
So
look at you.
One of the rare
That's why
cash outs.
That's why to me it's I don't really want to go through this. I can make money and I don't have to go through this the rest of the night.
Right.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
I think if you did the research.
Oh no, 100%. You're not getting.
You're gonna find out.
Yes.
More times than not, your bet held.
It benefits the house for sure. The house wins when you cash out, but
so do you. It's
correct.
a win-win.
To me, it's just I want off this ride. I can't. When I made this bet, my life was good, and then all of a sudden,
how many times in the last 12 months, and the over/under on this is 37.5. That's the betting total. It's 37.5. How many times in the last 12 months do you think I have said, I'm not doing this anymore?
100%. I'm done. I got to stop. I got a problem.
Are you telling me that Monmouth just scored 54 points in the first half?
100%.
Are you telling me that's true?
Did you see? So Zeno tweeted about it. He had the Wizards team total over on Monday when they only scored 1 point in the fourth quarter.
Oh, right. Against Toronto.
They scored 1 point.
Toronto.
They were at like 106. I think Zeno needed like 108 for them to go over.
No, that didn't happen.
That didn't. Check Zeno's Twitter. And
the Wizards scored 1 point in a quarter?
Oh, it was.
I think it was like the final 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's something like that.
They were up 23. They were up 23.
They were on the wrong side of like a 24-1 run or something like. I mean, it was unbelievable against the Raptors. I mean,
and lost.
Yes, they actually scored 16 points for the quarter, so it's not. But like they ended a 21 run, 21-1 run.
There it is.
They were outscored 21-1 to end the game, and they lost 111-107. And
I can't tell you how many
apparently
times
Mark Zinno bet on it.
I can't tell you how many times I have.
Imagine betting on the Wizards. That's on him.
Well, team total Wizards over. I don't know.
I can't tell you how many times I've pushed myself away from the computer and said, "I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not watching the first half of Miami, Ohio, and Kent State play basketball because I've got 62.5 as the score, and someone hits a 3-pointer at the buzzer." If you go and look at these obscure conferences, and I'll just use the MAC as an example because I follow that a lot, you would be out of your mind at the first half betting totals.
Oh, sure.
And how many times
by the way,
they're within a point.
This guy bets on that. He bets on the MAC.
Saying, Bowling Green last night. Come on.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Right.
So here's the answer. It was 106-92 with
like 7 minutes left.
7 minutes left.
Okay.
106-92 with 7 minutes left. And Zinno said he played the team total at over 109.5. With 7 minutes left.
And didn't hit it.
With 5 minutes left, they had 107 points.
And they scored another basket.
And scored another point. Yeah.
But you
111-107.
Go look tonight, or whenever they play. Go look at the first half totals of the MAC.
All right.
That the lines are out,
and they get
it's 61.5 when they play in the conference.
Right.
So Bowling Green plays Kent State, or Bowling Green plays Central Michigan, or they play whoever it is in the conference. And it's 61.5. The freaking score will be either 32-30 or 31-30 at the half. Go look at it and follow it. It's unreal how these people know exactly what the score is going to be.
Amazing.
It's unbelievable.
That's amazing.
And I always say when I'm on the bad end of it, I'm just not doing this anymore. I'm just not.
Yep. All right. When we come back in, we'll get a tidbit. He's going to keep doing it. Let's make it abundantly clear. He's going to keep doing it.
Well, I did it today.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll come back in. We'll get a tidbit and
This
tidbit.
game's going on right now.
Yeah. Drew can tell us what he bet on tonight when we come back in. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Todd Karpovich profiles the Orioles' survivors, Anthony Santander, Austin Hayes, Cedric Mullins, and Ryan Mountcastle, who all came from the previous regime but stuck through tough times to be key pieces in guiding the franchise back to prominence. Also inside, we remember the iconic Brooks Robinson with tributes from Jim Henneman and myself, Stan the Fan Charles, and a trip down memory lane to remember the most significant moments of his career. Plus, we meet players from college basketball programs around the state. Pressbox is available for free at over 500 area locations, including 60 Royal Farm stores, and you can always find the entire edition, as well as the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps at PressBoxOnline.com.
Visit Harford County. Gear up for the holidays by supporting local with Small Business Saturday on November 25th. Take in the dazzling sights of the season with a Ladue Christmas at Ladue Topiary Gardens. Enjoy holiday lights, sing along to holiday songs, reserve a carriage ride, and sit on Santa's lap in Bel Air's Winter Wonderland, happening every Saturday from November 25th until December 16th. Nothing sparks that holiday joy quite like a festive parade. Head to visitharford.com and click on Events to see the full list of parades and so much more. In Maryland, you're welcome.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
There's so much focus on sports betting these days, but I want to talk about an area that nobody wants to gamble on, where you choose to go out and spend your hard-earned dollars to eat. The Costas Inn is no gamble at all. The quality on their menu is outstanding, and the value is off the charts with a great and varied list of specials Monday through Friday. And the staples of the menu, whether it's salads, burgers, fish, they're all fantastic. And I haven't even mentioned the crabs or crab cakes yet. So check out the menu for yourself at CostasInn.com. When choosing a place to dine, never gamble on the food you put in your belly. The Costas Inn at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or call 410-477-1975 for reservations and your steamed crab orders.
6 chicken tenders made from fresh, never frozen Royal Farms world-famous chicken, a family-sized order of Western fries, honey mustard dipping sauce, and a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper. It's Royal Farms' new Tucker's Tenders Meal. It's Justin Tucker's favorite, and at only $19.99, it'll be your favorite meal, too. The new Tucker's Tenders Meal, available only at Royal Farms. Now you can kick back, relax, and eat like a champion. Real fresh, real fast, Royal Farms.
Come for a game, stay for everything else. Book an unforgettable fall getaway in Charm City. Enjoy only in Baltimore festivals, mouthwatering eats, and endless entertainment. Treat yourself to a staycation in the heart of downtown, or try one of the city's many charming neighborhood hotels. And don't miss out on packages for free parking, breakfast, and more. Plan your stay at baltimore.org/hotels.
Don't forget about Project Game Day after every Ravens game this season. It's kind of like this show, except Rita's also there, so I actually think it's pretty good. But hey, you're already here now, so why don't you go ahead and keep listening to GCR?
Are you a cruise guy, Forrester? You go on cruises? You been on cruises?
No. Oh, no.
You're a cruise guy.
I've been on one, and I'm going on another one in January.
No, I'm good.
Nice.
This one's actually.
If you like them, though, whatever floats your boat. Right?
My parents are cruise people. That's like what they're doing, which is fine. Like I wasn't expecting them to give me any money anyway. You know what I mean? Like I hope that they're enjoying their late years and doing everything that I love it. They're cruise people.
COVID is killing me.
Yeah, it's tough. I thought you got the extra shots. I thought you walked in.
Can't get rid of this cough.
Yeah, right. That's rough. You joke about that. We had somebody here that was dealing with it not that long ago.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so tell me, I'm not a cruise guy, but I went on one last summer because my parents wanted me to go, and we're going on another one next year.
Okay.
And then tell me if this would be, because I just saw this floating around. This cruise is called the 90s Cruise. Features live music on the boat from Blues Traveler.
Yes.
Collective Soul.
Yes.
The Gin Blossoms.
Yes.
Everclear.
Yes.
Fastball.
No.
I like them, actually. Lisa Loeb.
Oh, yes.
Yes. The rest of them are kind of, nothing.
You're on the same cruise as them?
Yes, they're on the cruise and performing.
Yes.
Yes.
What's not to like about it?
I'm all in on this thing.
You're
I'm
sure?
trying to convince. Mrs. Clark has no interest in cruise.
Don't take her.
You know what? That's a great point.
Don't take her at all.
Go by myself.
Well, no. Take a man.
Take a man?
Take a man.
Oh, a man.
Sorry. I supposed to say that.
I don't think there was ever an Amanda. I got to think about that for a second.
I want to read you a headline real quick.
Oh, you got something? Is it a Story of the Year candidate?
It might be.
All right.
It could be. Did you hear about the I can't even believe I'm going to say this on the air.
Don't.
You hear about the female pool player?
No.
Female pool player forfeits tournament final when she discovers she's facing a trans opponent.
A pool player?
Mm-hmm.
The hell?
No.
What is the advantage supposed to be?
Not playing.
In pool?
Yep. You're trans, I'm not playing.
What is... This is genuine.
Now, I will say...
Hang on, this is a genuine question.
This comes from Breitbart, and you never know.
They're leaning a certain way. I get it. But, do they have different men's and women's pool championships? I just genuinely don't know that. I remember Jeanette Lee being a superstar, but was she just competing against women, or did she compete against men too? I don't think I realized what would the reason be that they would have different men's and women's. I mean, I guess you could say that men have more strength for breaking the...
Full credit and great respect to my sister, Lynn, for taking a stand and not playing in the biggest match of her pool playing life because she feels it's unfair to have to compete against a trans woman.
Look, man, this is a complicated discussion in general, and I don't really feel like it's one that I have any interest in delving into the waters to, because you see these stories with wrestling and boxing. I don't really have much of a But this is pool. What am I missing here?
It does look like there are different events. So there's a WPBA.
But
women's
why?
Pool.
Why are there different are there
Women's Pro Billiard Association?
I'm not trying.
What's the
I'm
like?
not
We can understand the swimming.
Yes.
We can understand
track and field,
golf.
all those things.
Like,
yes.
I can't understand
tennis.
Pool.
What is? Are there different men's and women's video game tournaments? Honest to God question.
I don't think
Do they have?
so.
Do men's video game players compete against other men and women compete against other women? I don't understand why there would need to be men's and women's brackets in pool. Like, is there? Am I missing something?
I'm as flabbergasted as you are. I don't understand it.
Like in pool.
But it's a heck of a headline.
It is a heck of a headline.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other sports where there wouldn't need to be, where you wouldn't seem like there's any sort of advantage for males.
Did you see the field hockey thing?
What was the field hockey thing?
Where the dude played because they didn't have he played.
Uh-huh.
He's not trans.
He's just a dude.
He played.
Uh-huh.
Because he said, I'm allowed to play. There's no male field hockey. He played.
Well, there was a story
you
about
didn't see the story?
No, there been but there was a story like that years ago. There was a
this
story.
was just 2 weeks
This
ago.
was recent. Okay.
He hit the ball and hit the girl in the face and knocked her teeth out.
Well, that doesn't seem great. I can understand why in sport. I can understand in certain sports why there would be male and female competitions. I don't understand why there would need to be
in pool.
I don't get that at all. It's pool. You're playing pool.
She said no. Not playing.
What about like horseshoes? Or they have men's and women's horseshoes competitions? Like it's the same distance that I know of.
Isn't the answer to all of this to create their own division?
I don't think that there's enough. I don't think there would be enough.
There will be though, right?
Probably at some point, but
20 years.
Maybe.
Wouldn't you just let them play against one another?
Maybe.
I mean, wouldn't that be the fairest? Wouldn't that be the way to do it without any controversy?
I don't know. I don't have the answer. I can't pretend like I have the answer. I think it's a very difficult.
No, wouldn't that? Let's pretend that you have a pool of.
But we're debating science now. Like how far along are some people in their transition versus other people, right? And there's still an inherent advantage for some people whose testosterone rates are above others.
Okay, but
to lump everyone,
you have 100 swimmers.
I understand.
16 of them identify themselves as a transgender. Why wouldn't you just put those 16 together?
Because those people could be in different parts of their transition.
Well, where are you going to put them then?
They're trying to use science, which we're not very good at in this country.
I just gave you the answer.
It's not the answer because somebody could be further along, and there could still be a wild advantage for one person who, because their testosterone is at a certain level versus someone who's not as far along in that transition. So by science, they're trying to figure it out, which, again, we've got a problem addressing science in this country.
You know who's going to fix it?
Yeah? Your boy. He's going
to fix it.
Yeah, he's going to fix everything.
Next November.
Only he. Only he
Next
can fix
November.
it, I've heard. Only he. Let's get a tidbit. Griffin's got to leave today.
Yeah.
Tidbit.
Oh, he's got to leave?
I don't know. He's cheating on us or something. He's got a tidbit is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
Well, I'm just saying I got to go.
Tidbit brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. BuyAToyota.com. The Toyota Tacoma comes in a range of models and trim lines, so you can choose the perfect Tacoma to reflect your unique personality and driving habits. Check out BuyAToyota.com for deals on new Tacomas from your local Toyota dealer today.
Tyrese Halliburton had another game with no turnovers. He scored 33, had 15 assists.
What team does Tyrese Halliburton play for? It's very good. This is the guy that loves the NBA in-season tournament.
Is this NBA?
Yes, he's an NBA player.
Big win last night.
Don't help him too much.
Well, I mean,
probably Portland. Sounds
nah,
like.
Not Portland. Guess again. We'll see how long it takes.
Philadelphia.
Nope.
Played against Philadelphia.
No,
last night.
Stop.
Indiana.
God,
he plays for
Griffin.
Indiana.
Sorry, I thought.
No, he plays for Indiana. He plays for Indiana.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Griffin.
Well, anyway, he's the
I
first
knew he played for
player.
Indiana.
No, you didn't. You guessed Portland and Philadelphia.
But then I guessed Indiana.
After Griffin told you who they played because you bet on the game last night.
Without knowing who the.
Go.
Sorry. He had 25 and 17 and no turnovers
Why
on
can't
Sunday.
you ever keep it in
I
your?
know.
How are you you meet a young lady?
see it
Goodbye. Drew'sMorningDish.com. You meet a young lady. You bring her back.
You start talking about sports.
Right. Like.
Just start giving all the.
How does she say whoa, Tiger, slow down a little bit? I wouldn't mind if maybe we had dinner. You just can't. You're just dying. Say Indiana. It's the team in Indianapolis. It's the team. It's the team. Reggie Miller.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again next week. We'll come up with another player.
A well-known basketball player. Go ahead.
So he's the first player with 25 and 15 assists and 0 turnovers in consecutive games ever to have no turnovers while having 25 and 15 since individual turnovers were first tracked back in 1977. Also last night, the Timberwolves and the Warriors game. It is the first game since the NBA-ABA merger to have 3 different starters ejected before either team scored a point. This was, of course, after Draymond put Gobert in a headlock, and Clay had his jersey ripped off.
Unbelievable.
And
it's performative F.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, I got 2 MLB award ones. Let's go with since Manager of the Year was last night. Hyde became the 9th manager to win Manager of the Year without playing in Major League Baseball. Can you name the other 8 managers? The other 8.
It's very unique, man.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. Say it again while I think about it.
There have been 9 Manager of the Year winners who did not play in Major League Baseball. This comes from Sarah Langs on Twitter.
Requires
Brandon
me to,
Hyde was the 9th.
The problem is it requires me to know who won Manager of the Year, and no one knows
get,
who won. No, settle down. Again, keep it in your pants.
What you're whining about it, and now
I don't think it's a great list or a great thing, but it didn't play at the Major League level.
Correct.
Man. Didn't play at the Major League level. Did Buck play at the Major League level?
That is correct. Buck did not, so yes. Buck won 4 times Manager of the Year. Did not play.
I don't know that I'm going to... Because it requires me to know who won Manager of the Year. That's the real problem.
Well...
I'm just trying to think of managers who didn't play at the Major League level, right? So, we know, for example, Joe Torre's not on the list because he played at the Major League level. We know that Joe Girardi's not on the list. We know Aaron Boone's not on the list. We know Terry Francona's not on the list. We know... I don't know if did Charlie Manuel play at the Major League level?
I'm not sure.
He
didn't win it.
Manager of the Year. He's not on the list.
He's not on the list. There is a
Bobby Cox played in the majors.
Bobby Cox is not on the list, yeah.
Alex Cora, of course, played in the majors.
This guy was a 3-time Manager of the Year.
3-time Manager of the Year.
Won it twice in the 90s.
Twice in the 90s.
And then with a different team in 2006.
Jim Leland.
Jim Leland. 3-time Manager of the Year. Never played.
Yeah.
Another 3-time Manager of the Year.
I knew that, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
The 3-time Manager of the Year. Man, 3-time Manager of the Year. Sparky played. I don't know if Sparky was ever Manager of the Year because they didn't bring the award around until. See how the difficult part about it. God. Did Bobby Valentine play in the majors?
Bobby Valentine's not on the list. So, don't know. Did he?
Maybe.
He won, so this guy was 3-time Manager of the Year twice in 2008 and 2011, and then with a different team in...
Oh, Joe Madden.
Joe Madden in 2015, won with the Cubs, 3-time Manager of the Year.
Yeah, Joe Madden.
The Marlins manager, and when they won in...
McKeon.
Yep. Jack McKeon. He was the second...
I did not know he didn't play in the majors.
And the second year of this award in 1984, the Cubs manager.
So both the Marlins managers that won. That's pretty interesting. The second... Wait, say it again?
The second year of the award in 1984.
I don't remember who was the Cubs manager in 84.
Jim Frey.
Sure.
Red Sox. Is it Frey? Yeah. Red Sox in 86.
McNamara.
And then this was the National League Manager of the Year in 18, and then also the National League Manager of the Year in 19. There were 2 different managers, but it was in 2018 and 2019.
Snicker?
Brian Snicker. Final name on this list. Yeah, 2019. I didn't remember who won this one. He was friend of the show. Well, not friend of the show, but been on the program.
He's been on the program
recently.
Oh, why? Who we have had on? Oh God. Oh, out in San Diego, Mike Schilt. Mike Schilt.
Yes, Mike Schilt. Mike Schilt in 2019 with the Cardinals.
I wouldn't have gotten that if you hadn't mentioned that he had been on the show.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That was a. I went with that one over instead. I guess I should have gone with Schumacher became the 8th manager to win in his first year Would you think that would have been better?
No. It just requires me to know who won Manager of the Year. And it's what I said. Like, nobody knows who won Manager of the Year. It's just not.
So that was the point of this tidbit, to prove your points.
There you go.
Yeah.
You sold it well. That's what I've been trying to say for a couple days. Like, we just don't think of we treat it as a major award. And it is a major award in Major League Baseball. But we just don't treat it that way in how we measure managers by championships. That's what we know of managers. All right, Tubular brought to you by it's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. No, we did that one, right?
Yes, we have.
It's brought to you by Superbook.
Correct.
Superbook.com. Download the Superbook app. When you do, you'll receive up to $250 in a same-day first bet match, win or lose, but only if you use the code GlennClark23 when you sign up. Local hoops tonight. Loyola's at home against Binghamton, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. Coppin's at Louisville at 7 on ESPN+. Morgan's at Fresno State at 10:30 on the Mountain West Network. Not really any good non-conference. Georgetown Rutgers at 8:30 on Fox Sports 1, but Georgetown stinks. So.
And Rutgers lost to Princeton earlier.
Not really. Action tonight, Central Michigan, Ohio at 7 on ESPNU. Buffalo, Miami, Ohio at 7 on ESPN2.
With Rocky Boiman.
That's right. Mavs, Wizards at 7 on Monumental. ESPN's got Celtics, Sixers at 7:30. Kings, Lakers at 10. TNT has Flyers, Hurricanes at 7:30. Islanders, Canucks at 10. ATP Finals continue on the Tennis Channel. MLB Network's got the Cy Young Award announcements at 6 o'clock. And TBS for AEW Dynamite tonight at 8. Anything non-sports-wise?
New episode of Survivor. Celebrity Jeopardy's going to have Macaulay Culkin on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Sure.
Along with Rachel Dratch and Becky Lynch.
That's very random. Sure, why not?
Colbert's going to have Paul Giamatti because of the Holdovers.
The Holdover.
Movie.
Everybody says it's really,
it
really
did look good. It did look good. I want to check it out as well. Taika Waititi will be on Fallon because of Next Goal Wins. That comes up Friday.
I do trust Taika Waititi. Mm-hmm. This one, it looks heartfelt.
Right.
It's a little bit different than what you would expect from Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
You're like, this is the guy that did Shadows. Like, what am I missing here?
Well, he did Thor Ragnarok.
That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like Ragnarok. I did. I know.
That's one of my favorite.
I thought it was great.
MCU.
I thought it was great.
One of my favorite superhero movies.
And, I mean, I'm not talking about like as many people as hated Love and Thunder. Like everybody hated Love and Thunder. But there was like when it was the start of like is Marvel falling was around the time of Ragnarok. And
I felt like that was the height of that was like
no, it's definitely not that.
17. I don't know.
You guys are drunk. I thought Ragnarok was great.
I loved Ragnarok. New episode of the Santa
Apparently,
Claus
the new Captain America movie is they're having to like completely rewrite it and like reshoot, and it's a disaster.
Jeez, I don't know what's going on over there. And then on Hulu is Brawn, the Impossible Formula One story, narrated by Keanu Reeves. Talks about Honda. This is for F1 people.
It's not for me.
Yes, it's for F1 people. But it's on Hulu.
All right, very good.
It's narrated by Keanu Reeves.
All right, if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
All right, thanks today to Drew Forrester. Thanks also to Gary Stewart from Stevenson, Rocky Boiman. We'll get it all up in the greatest hits section of the
Oh, my God, it's so good.
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. We'll, of course, make picks tomorrow with KZ. Mike Sando from The Athletic will check in. It has been a week. It has been a week. Okay.
So happens when the Ravens lose.
I don't think that's it. Thursday Night Football really does screw a lot.
Yeah,
of
that
things
too.
Up. It's not great for our business. That's all I can say. Thursday Night Football is not. It's great for us as fans because we have a football game to watch. It's not great for the local market. But it is what it is. All right. Thanks, everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Mother's North Grill, as well as Guilford Hall Brewery, Live Casino and Hotel, AJ Michaels, Royal Farms, Costa Sin, Superbook Sports, Harford County, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Loyola, Coppin, and Morgan. Duke sucks.